presented by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37.
Packers taking the field there at Lambeau Field. They lead the league in takeaways, 39, the Packers on the season. The Bills are worst in the league. In fact, 9 of their 14 games, they did not even force a turnover. Only 14 on the entire season. That has been the story for the Bills. They are still mathematically alive, though.
Yeah, everybody's still mathematically alive, but I just had a thought. You know how it was Emmitt Smith's last time in Dallas, possible yesterday?
Right.
This could be your last time on our set.
It won't. You talking about hitting the wall. What about the wall that the quarterback hit, man? Buffalo's quarterback.
Bledsoe didn't
What
play
about
very
that
well.
wall?
He did hit a lot of walls. That's why I don't
And
think
he cannot turn the ball over against the Packers today. They're going to take
Why did you have such a smile on your face when you reported that?
I mean, come on, black and silver on today, man.
This is the last time we're going to see you.
We love you, man.
We love
This is a serious issue, guys.
Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas to all of you.
Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Those of you with the 4 o'clock game will be back in just a moment. For everyone else, it's game time on the NFL today. Enjoy it all right here on CBS.
It is cold in Green Bay, Wisconsin for the Buffalo Bills and the Green Bay Packers. With their win last night, Philadelphia with the best record in the NFL. Green Bay and Tampa Bay will try to match that. The Bucs play tomorrow night against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Happy holidays, everyone. With Randy Cross, Kevin Harlan, great to have you with us. What is Green Bay playing for today?
Well, you saw that graphic. It's all about home field advantage for 2 really good reasons. Number 1, Green Bay as a team has never lost a home playoff game. And number 2, more importantly, Brett Favre as a quarterback here at Lambeau Field has never lost a playoff game.
All right, for the Buffalo Bills, still very much alive in the AFC playoff picture.
Well, 2 things they have to do. 1, they got to start doing something. And number 2, they got to keep doing something. Number 1, Drew Bledsoe's got to start throwing the ball well again. And number 2, Travis Henry, number 20, the running back that's carried this team the last month or so, has got to keep drilling that ball on the ground in order for this team to win 2 games and get a chance at the playoffs.
We'll return to Green Bay after this message from your local station as you're watching the NFL on CBS.
Get winning!
Have any idea where that medicine you're taking came from? That it may even be a counterfeit? Curious? Try watching 60 Minutes tonight.
The search is on. Don't miss the Star Search premiere, CBS Wednesday, January 8th.
Introducing all new America Online 8.0. We listened to you and designed AOL 8.0 with hundreds of exciting new features.
Welcome.
New AOL email sort gets you to important mail faster. New AOL Call Alert lets you be online and never miss important phone calls. Choose a welcome screen tailored to your interests. There are hundreds of new features to easily connect you to the people and things you care about most. New America Online 8.0. Call 1-800-4ONLINE or get a free startup disc at these locations.
Welcome back to NFL Sunday Ticket. I'm Spencer Tillman, here to help you get in the holiday mood with an early gift of 11 exciting games, most carrying playoff significance in this crucial Week 16 of NFL 2002. Let's start by taking a look at the baffling AFC race. Now, no team has clinched a spot yet, but that all could change today. Miami's loss to the Vikings on Saturday makes it possible for the Raiders and the Colts to secure at least a wild card berth with a win. If and only if the Colts lose to the Giants, that opens the door for the Titans to clinch the AFC South title with a win over the Jaguars. Now, over in the NFC, the Eagles, Packers, and Niners and Bucks are all in. The Saints and the Falcons can clinch the 2 wild card spots if they win today and the Giants lose. What a way to finish the season that's been loaded with interesting plot lines, everyone. What do you think will be remembered as the biggest storyline of the 2002 season? Michael Vick's rise to stardom, Rich Gannon's record-setting numbers. Don't forget now, Emmitt Smith became the all-time rushing king just a few weeks ago. Email me, Spencer@NFL.com, with your choice. And if I share your thoughts on the air, we'll send you an NFL T-shirt absolutely free of charge. All right, everyone, 8 games are ready to kick off just for you now. I'll see you later here on NFL Sunday Ticket.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Lambeau Field, pro football's most distinguished address, where legends have made NFL history. Indelible moments that are the fabric of the Green Bay mystique. And this generation's heroes have made their mark. Today, the Packers, destined for the playoffs, battle Drew Bledsoe and the Bills, who are clinging to faint playoff hopes. The Bills and Packers, next. The Buffalo Bills have won 2 of their last 3. The Green Bay Packers have won 3 consecutive games. Season's greetings from Lambeau in what might be the best scene in all the NFL. Our kickoff is next.
Subway presents Fresh Starts, a salute to this season's surprises. Subway, eat fresh. Brian Billick's Ravens were supposed to be rebuilding this year, but Baltimore has remained in the playoff chase with talented young players. On offense, Todd Heap leads all AFC tight ends in receiving. While on defense, rookie Ed Reed is second in the NFL with 5 interceptions. If the Ravens win their final 2, they'll have a shot at the postseason.
I'll have your steak and cheese with some of that Southwest sauce.
2 classic BMTs and put sweet onion sauce on hers. She's so sweet. Can I please have a roast beef with Dijon horseradish?
Subway Club with hot peppers, because we like it hot.
At Subway, every sandwich is fresh made just the way you want, with your choice of delicious meats, toppings, sauces, all on fresh baked breads. It can be complicated, just give me what they're having. Or simple. It's up to you.
Subway, eat fresh.
You see the wind whipping around Green Bay this afternoon, 27 degrees, and enduring those conditions down on the sideline are Beasley Reese.
All right, thanks a lot, Kevin. Now, the Buffalo Bills need turnovers to be successful today, something they haven't done well all year long. Now, to get an interception, you got to catch a ball from Brett Favre. You know he throws it at high velocities. So to get ready, the Buffalo defenders have been catching balls all week from a machine called the Jugs machine. It sends balls at very high velocities. We'll see if they can catch it. Back upstairs.
How can he even talk down there, as cold as it is? Mike Hollis will kick it off. J.J. Moses back inside the 15. The Buffalo Bills, the Green Bay Packers. And welcome to Lambeau in Wisconsin with Moses at about the 18-yard line. A nice tackle made downfield by reserve wide receiver Charles Johnson, 9-yard return. And we'll get a look at Brett Favre, the number 3 rated NFC quarterback coming into this afternoon. And he is starting his 172nd consecutive game. Notice the rookie free agent tackle Kevin Berry starting again today for Earl Dotson. And Amon Green remains one of the most effective rushers in the NFC. From just outside the 25 at the 26, Favre opens up in the gun, 1st and 10. Bobbles the snap from Winters, and outside it goes, incomplete, looking for his fullback, William Henderson. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Buffalo's defense comes in number 16 in the NFL today. On the line, ex-Tampa Bay Buck Chidi Ahanitu. London Fletcher in the linebacking core leads this defense in tackles. He's an ex-St. Louis Ram. And Antoine Winfield, part of a young secondary, including rookie safety Coy Wire out of Stanford. 2nd down and 10, same 26-yard line for Green Bay. And Amon Green tries to take it inside, and he is held on to nicely after a gain of 3 by Pat Williams. Ball's up to the 29-yard line. That sets up 3rd down.
Kevin, really, I think the most important factor in this game isn't really so much the cold. It's going to be the wind. You saw how short that kickoff was by Buffalo, and that was for a very good reason. The wind is really whistling from left to right in this stadium. Brett Favre and the Packers have it at their back right now, and if you're going to throw and do business, you better do it when you're going in this direction.
How about the Green Bay receivers against the corners of Buffalo?
They don't go 2, 3, 4 deep very well for Buffalo. Some matchups to exploit.
3rd down and 7 from the 29. From gets a block from Green and fires a pass. Intercepted on the play. And picked off by Kevin Thomas. And out of bounds he goes. And Brett Favre throws his 14th interception of the season. A 32-yard return, and Buffalo has it deep in Green Bay territory.
Well, Favre's trying to force his ball to Donald Driver. He does not mind forcing it, but what a nice job jumping in front by Kevin Thomas. Beasley Reese told you about the jugs gun and practicing catching balls, and Greg Williams told us yesterday, if there's one thing my defense has got to improve on these last 2 weeks, when they get a chance to catch a ball, they've got to catch it and not just knock it down.
That's the kid's first career NFL interceptions. You take a look at Greg Williams. Kevin Thomas is a rookie out of UNLV, a 6th-round pick, first and goal at the 9 for Drew Bledsoe. Travis Henry is devoured by the defensive line. Cledius Hunt was there, throwing him for a loss of 4 on the play. They'll march it back to about the 12-yard line. Buffalo offense is number 6 in the National Football League, led by 30-year-old Drew Bledsoe, headed for his 4th Pro Bowl. And an offensive line, Jonas Jennings back at the left tackle. Eric Moulds, a Pro Bowl wide receiver, number 7 in receptions in the league coming into today. After that loss, 2nd down and goal at the 13 for Bledsoe. Travis Henry tries to get outside. And a flag is thrown as he was brought down by Darren Sharper, and a possible face mask on the play.
Travis Henry is so powerful. Beasley Reese was talking to him yesterday about his bench press, 485 pounds. What a kind of a straight arm can a little guy like that put on a defensive back or linebacker trying to tackle him?
Kyle Diggs picks up the face mask penalty as you take a look at one of our veteran officials in the NFL, referee Tom White. Both teams coming off wins last week. Green Bay 2014 over San Francisco. Buffalo 2013 over San Diego to stay alive in the tough AFC playoff picture.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 59, defense. That'll be half the distance to the goal. First down.
A little bit of this strength. Bang into the face. Right on Diggs. And I don't think Diggs ever got his face mask. I don't like that call at all. Mike Sherman's got every reason to be mad. If anybody had a hold of a face mask right there, it was Travis Henry.
On his 1st and goal at the 6-yard line for Bledsoe. Nice in motion on top of your screen. Bledsoe hit as he throws into the end zone. Nobody home. Incomplete. Moulds was about 5-6 yards away. The Green Bay defense, number 11, Baja Biamila, has 11 sacks this season, number 5 in the NFL. The linebackers, led by Hardy Nickerson, first year with Green Bay, still effective in his 16th NFL season. In the secondary, Darren Sharper over the last 2 years plus, more interceptions than any defensive player in the NFL.
The key so far for the Buffalo offense the last month has been they've been able to pressure Bledsoe and disrupt his throwing. Great example last play.
2nd goal at the 6. Travis Henry into the teeth of that Green Bay defense and then wrestled down with Anderson jumping on top. Baja Biamila is there after a 2-yard gain. Another sellout here at Lambeau, as you might expect. The stadium being renovated in a almost $300 million facelift, which will make this truly the one crowning jewel in the NFL in terms of stadiums. It's going to be spectacular when finished, and right now they're about 75–80% complete. 3rd down, goal at the 4. Larry centers in the backfield. Price is on the move. 4 receivers deployed. And Bledsoe to the end zone. And intercepted by Sharper. On the deflection, he'll take it out and give some breathing space. And so each team has traded an interception. And it was deflected on the play by Antoine Edwards. And Bledsoe throws his 14th interception of the season.
You'd love to be able to lob this, but into the wind, you've got to fire it. Antoine Edwards tips it. Green Bay turns it around with Sharper, putting it back in Buffalo's face.
Darren Sharper is on the ground, just got his NFL leading 7th interception of the season.
And that's not all he got, Kevin. He caught himself a helmet in his leg as he was returning that ball. He's easily outrunning his blocking and gets that helmet right into the side of his thigh.
From the 14, 1st and 10, here's Amon Green. Nice block outside by Flanagan. And Green picks up 4, brought down on the play by Fletcher, and he's up to the 17-yard line.
You know, Marco Rivera this week made the Pro Bowl. First Packer offensive lineman since 1983. Larry McCarron does a lot of TV and radio work up here in the Green Bay market. And Mike Sherman announced all the Pro Bowlers and announced all the alternates and kind of thanked all their coaches. And then sort of as an afterthought at the end of the meeting, goes, oh, by the way, Marco, you're going to the Pro Bowl too.
7 years in the NFL. 2nd down, long 6. Amon Green again. And they pull Flanagan from the tackle as the lead blocker. It's a gain of 2, and he's up just past the 20-yard line. A host of Bills right there, including Fletcher again at the middle linebacker.
And the reason I bring up the deal with Marco Rivera and the Pro Bowl running game is that's always been the ingredient that Green Bay's had. I don't care if you go back to the old days like you saw in the open with Paul Hornung and Taylor and whatnot, and then Dorsey Levens and company with Brett Favre in the middle 60s. Right now it's going to be a big running game, and this is what powers this team. It's not always the quarterback. It's running game and defense.
Outside the 20, 3rd down and 4, and 5 throws a dart. It's caught. Terry Glenn makes the grab. Thomas and Wire get him. A gain of 9 on 3rd down and 4, and he's up to the 29-yard line for a 1st down.
Of course, it doesn't hurt to have Brett Favre as your quarterback when he can throw the ball like that. This guy has just got one of the special arms. You talk about all-around talents, and the word great is the most overused word in all of sports broadcasting. But Brett Favre truly has a great arm, and is truly in the history of this game one of the great quarterbacks.
Glenn with his 48th reception of the season. 1st down and 10, 29-yard line. The fake to Green. Here comes Ahanotu, and outside they go, incomplete. And a shove, and no yellow on the field. They were going for Glenn again, and now they say he caught it. One official had one view, another had another view, and they're saying he juggled it, but
I smell a conference.
Well, I see one. I see a conference.
The official right on the site. I mean, right on the site.
That's a spectacular.
Right there. He says
pass,
no catch.
2nd down.
It is a reception. It is 2nd down and 4 to go.
Greg Williams just threw out his red challenge flag.
But do you use it now for a little 6-yard gain, or do you wait and save it for something bigger down the road?
There's something to be said for using it in this situation with Green Bay's going with the wind. And is going to have the advantage of throwing like that. Yeah, I think normally, no, you wouldn't use it in this situation. But if you're Buffalo, you're looking for momentum. You're looking for a reason to get excited and a reason
Buffalo
to stay in this game.
The ruling on the field that this was
Terry
a completed
Glenn,
pass.
ball against the leg. No, that wasn't a catch. Good. That'll be a good review by Greg Williams. He won't lose the time out there.
What kind of season has Terry Glenn had in his first year in Green Bay?
Fairly inconspicuous. You know, for all the problems that Terry Glenn had up in New England and the controversial relationships with Bill Parcells and Pete Carroll and the Kraft family being very understanding in a lot of those cases in New England, he came here to Green Bay and he's fit in and been a good citizen for Mike Sherman in this organization. And yeah, I can see why. If you can't fit into this community and this organization, you'd have to have a serious problem. And Terry Glenn has had absolutely no problem fitting in. And once again, it's Terry Glenn on the sideline. It is possession. Does he have it at any time here before his feet go out of bounds? He doesn't truly have that ball until he gets on the ground. So this is going to be a no catch.
One of the great stories when Glenn was first signed by Green Bay after Mike Sherman had spent many hours with him at his home to see, you know, what he thought, his own personal interview. Brett Favre took him out golfing. And Brett said, I want to get you on the same page as this organization. I've been here 11, 12 years. And that was one of the things that opened up the door for Glenn, and talking about the ease with which he has melted into the franchise.
Hey, Brett Favre also golfs when it's still like in the low 40s. I'm not sure if Terry Glenn quite bought into that part of the program.
Well, and there's the guy that just intercepted the pass of Drew Bledsoe. And he is being taken, as you can see, off the field for further tests inside the Packer locker room.
The receiver is in the process of catching the ball with 1 foot down. As he's crossing the sideline, the ball is moving. The second foot comes down out of bounds, inbounds. It's an incomplete pass. It's second down. And Buffalo is not charged. They time out.
And to the sideline in Beasley Reese.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. You just saw one of the best safeties in the league, Darren Sharper, being taken in. The PR team tells me it's a sprained right knee. His return is doubtful. He will get x-rays and further examination in the locker room. Back to you.
Thank you, Beasley. Second down and 10. They move it back to the 29-yard line with Green in the backfield. The fake end around to Driver, and Green is taken down by Ahanotu. Gain of 4 and up to the 33.
Everybody in the league nowadays runs these fake reverses. And I think as a viewer at home, I know when I watch football sometimes and that happens, I kind of say, why in the heck do you do that all the time? And really, it's fairly simple. You have so much inexperience nowadays on defenses, and they're playing very basic attack-oriented defenses. If they're going to attack something like a reverse action like that, they're going to be out of possession. They're trying to set them up for a pass later in this quarter or later in this half.
33-yard line, 3rd and 6. They dump it off, dropped by Amon Green, incomplete. 4th down, Green Bay's got a punt. Seems like John Gruden is the guy who kind of started that here in the last couple years when he was coaching Oakland with either Rice or Brown coming on that end-around fake.
Lots of stuff. And actually, Kevin Gilbride's on the sideline for the Buffalo Bills, the offensive coordinator. Ran the run and shoot for years, and I think a lot of the guys like him and Mouse Davis and June Jones are responsible for a lot of the passing game. Right now, there are people who are using this league when people said you were crazy for running 3, 4, 5 wides.
Bidwell to punt. 2 safeties back. There goes a flag. 2 safeties back for the Buffalo Bills, and you can see it flutter. Charlie Rogers at the 25-yard line for Buffalo, and then brought down by Tyrone Davis, a reserve tight end, a 42-yard punt, 7-yard return. Flag is at the 32. And it's on Buffalo, as you can see. It was 4th and 6.
Offside, number 51, defense.
Deshaun Polk.
Penalty is declined. Be a first down for Buffalo. Timeout.
Timeout taken. Each quarterback, Favre and Bledsoe, have thrown interceptions in a scoreless first quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. Message from America. Visit Circuit City today to record your message. And by Hummer. Check out the new H2 at Hummer.com. Hummer, like nothing else.
Have you done all your Christmas shopping so far?
It's too early. don't want to stress out too early.
After the Green Bay punt, 32-yard line for Bledsoe, 1st and 10. And it goes to Henry. Brought down by Tyrone Williams. Nate Wayne was over there as well. Gain of 2 on the play, and he's up to the 34. We'll follow the playoff race through the end of the season with our exclusive projected seeds and brackets on all the playoff scenarios. Just click on the playoff race at CBSSportsline.com or on AOL keyword CBS Sportsline.
Well, the inside running game is now officially closed if you're a Buffalo Bill running back. Travis Henry knows that. He looks up and sees big 93 Gilbert Brown in there. Inside running is out of the question.
At the 34, 2nd down and 8. Bledsoe with time and undershoots his receiver, Peerless Price, who's had a career year. It'll now be 3rd down and 8. I'm trying to look at the wind and which way it's going. I do know, though, we're going to go to New York right now with Jim Nantz for this update.
All right, guys, got a little update here on Tennessee and Jacksonville. The Titans are in with Eddie George from 4 yards out, and Tennessee 7-0 here down in Jacksonville. Let's go back to you.
Jaguars have had a tough go in the regular season. Only 1-9, Jim, in December and January games against teams with winning records, and the Titans take a 9-5 record into that game today. 3rd down and 8 from the 34 for Bledsoe from the gun. The Trey Teague snap, and Bledsoe fires to the side where it's caught by the rookie out of LSU, Josh Reed, a second-round pick, a gain of 17 on 3rd down and 8, and he's into Green Bay Packer territory at the 49.
And when you're playing this Buffalo offense, there's two players that can kind of get below the radar on you. It's Josh Reed and it's tight end Jay Reamersma. Because Bledsoe has got Peerless Price, he has Eric Moulds, he has Travis Henry running the ball. And Drew Bledsoe also has this rifle of an arm where he can lay the ball out there. And despite the cold, despite the conditions, he has receivers that will catch the ball with their hands and not trap it against their body.
Larry Centers in the backfield now with Henry. 1st down and 10 from the Packer 49. It is the aforementioned Centers who tries to burrow his way for a couple to about the Green Bay 47 with the gain of 2 on the play at the bottom of the pile. Cledius Hunt, 2nd down.
And right next to Cledius is Gilbert Brown. And you look at Cledius Hunt and Gilbert in there, and you've got a block. You know, despite the fact that there's 2 defensive tackles, 2 guards, and a center, so the offense has the advantage, right? There's 3 offensive players and there's 2 defensive players. Well, those guys play their responsibility and their gaps so well, and they eat up blockers so well. The Packer linebackers run very, very freely to the ball.
2nd down 8. Philip Crosby in the game. 47 of Green Bay after the Packer punt. Both quarterbacks have thrown interceptions. It looks like Bledsoe's changing at the line. And he sends his running back up the middle where nothing is there. Niall Diggs makes a stop and a fumble on the play, and the Packers have gotten it. And there was a fumble and Cledius Hunt at the bottom of that pile.
Kevin, guess what they were trying to do? Remember those 3 offensive guys and those 2 defensive guys, and let's just run inside? They tried to run inside. The meat shop inside was closed, and they were happy to take that pigskin.
Travis Henry just fumbled. The Bills have had 2 turnovers, both in Green Bay territory. Packers take over at the Buffalo 49, 1st and 10. And Amon Green blocked by Henderson and swarmed under. Fletcher was right there. They jump on him at the 47. It's a gain of 2. Beasley Reese on the sideline.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. If you can see the slickness on this football, these are new balls they play with. You're not allowed by new rules to scuff them up or doctor them. I talked to both quarterbacks, and these are big-handed quarterbacks, and they still said they don't like it. It causes a lot of problems. We've seen 2 interceptions and a fumble, and this slick ball in 10-degree wind chill has a lot to do with it. Back to you.
And Beasley, you've got pretty big hands too, but if you tried to squeeze that thing, it would squirt right out of your hands, just like it did to Travis Henry.
2nd Nate. Schobel bearing down on Favre. He dumps it off as he always does. There, the tight end Tyrone Davis with his 8th reception of the year. Fletcher is over there with the stop. It's a gain of 1 to the Buffalo 46.
You know, when you do a Green Bay Packer game and you're watching this guy play quarterback, it's kind of like watching a big fight. You know, you like to see boxers and you like to see the lightweight guys, and they punch so well. Brett Favre as a quarterback is a heavyweight, because Brett Favre has got the big right hand. Brett Favre can throw the bomb, and you watch him because any second he can throw the ball 50, 60, 65 yards down the field for a big score.
He's the king. That's what the players called him yesterday, the 3-time MVP. 3rd down and 7 at the Buffalo 46. Shotgun snap from Winters. Good time for Favre. Across the middle, floats it over for his fullback Henderson. Incomplete, covered by Eddie Robinson. No flag on the play. Green Bay has got a punt, and they cannot cash in at midfield. Oh, there goes a flag. Nope. All right, they took it off the board.
Must have been a Packer brat.
Must have been, yeah. Well, anyway.
A brat rapper.
So there is no flag on the play, and Green Bay will punt for the 2nd time. They can't cash in on the fumble by Travis Henry.
Exactly the kind of game both coaches thought they'd have. Low-scoring, field position game.
Bidwell's punt. Rodgers under it, letting it bounce and dig its way down to the 5. Ferguson knocks it down right there. 41-yard punt, well placed at the Buffalo 5. When we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by T-Mobile. Get more minutes, more features, more service. And by the United States Postal Service.
3 total turnovers in this game, no points. Off any of those turnovers, as you see St. Nick enjoying a game. He's pretty close to the North Pole being here in Green Bay.
Sure as heck feels like it.
With Randy Cross and Beasley Reese, Kevin Harlan. Packers just punted after they couldn't do anything with the previous Buffalo fumble. So from the 6-yard line and a good Bidwell punt. Bledsoe back there. First down and 10 yards to go. That's Peerless Price, 81. Bledsoe pocket crumbling, and he goes to Price at the 11-yard line. Brought down on the play by Diggs. A gain of 5, 2nd and 5 coming up.
You know, Kevin, how often do you play a game where it's important to both teams? It's what you consider a big game, and to start off, both teams are playing kind of shaky. You get an interception to start, then they trade back another interception. Niall Diggs strips that ball from Travis Henry, another mistake. But usually the games that start like that and start kind of sloppy end pretty wide.
Gilbert Brown back in the middle there for Green Bay. 2nd down and 5. Henry and Crosby in the eye from the 11. Travis Henry, who has fumbled more than any running back in the NFL this year. The fumble moments ago, his 9th of the season. He picks up 6 yards right there. Let's go to New York and Jim Nance.
All right, Kevin, Mark Bowrichter starting for Johnny Morton, deactivated today. Hauls in this pass from Trent Green. It's his 14th catch of the season. 7 of the 14 catches going for touchdowns. 7-0 Kansas City. San Diego is driving, though, right back. Let's go to you.
All right, Jim, remember the Chiefs lead the NFL in points scored, over 440 points this season. We'll get a quick 7 right there. 1st and 10. That 6-yard gain by Henry carves out a first down. Up to 17. Henry on the pitch, Crosby on the block, and a nice run outside. The tackle is made by Diggs once again. Artie Nickerson helped out. Gain of about 2 or 3 on the play. Looked like it might open up for more. He's up to the 19-yard line.
Now, that was a big play kind of hit right on Travis Henry. How about Eric Moulds and McKenzie right here working? You think they're kind of nonchalant and this game doesn't really matter? Yeah, y'all love it. Eventually somebody throws their hands up in the air and goes, how long are you going to let him do that? Of course, he just had to get his hands off of McKenzie's face to make that motion. But
2nd and long, 7 shy of the 24. Drew Bledsoe in the Buffalo offense. Bledsoe. Here comes Nickerson. And there he goes, deep downfield for Moulds, and it hits Tyrone Williams in the back, incomplete. At about the Packer 40-yard line.
If you were looking at this from one of those nice end zone seats, you would see it move sideways. You know, initially Eric Moulds thought that ball was coming down to him. See, watch the, I mean, the ball is just moving to Eric Moulds' left the whole time. The last 20 yards, it's in that air, and the wind is knocking it down. You can't throw the ball deep and go in this direction for the Buffalo Bills.
Bledsoe is 2 of 6. He has thrown a pick deep in Green Bay territory. In fact, in the end zone, he threw it. 3rd down, long, 7. Inside the Buffalo 20. Up the middle they come. That ball floats incomplete. There goes a flag. He was looking for Moulds. And they had Jamal Reynolds coming up the middle in Bledsoe's face. Tyrone Williams was guarding on the side.
I saw the contact. It was hard to tell who was holding and grabbing who. But usually the defensive player ends up in the short end of that stick. Ty Williams did have a pretty good hold of Eric Moulds' chest, though.
They're still meeting, the officials are, at about the 29-yard line. Packers are contending to throw it away.
Number 37 defense. The flag was adjusted because the wind blew it. It's a first down.
Not real popular here at Lambeau Field, but that was a good call. Watch Williams in 37. Eric Moulds right there. He's got him around the stomach, around the jersey. Now, granted, Moulds did kind of push off there at the end. The question Green Bay coaches probably have is, will that ball ever even close to being catchable?
I think that is the point. 1st and 10, 31-yard line. Some breathing space for Bledsoe. Henry in the backfield. A good time. Outside he goes. Where it's caught by his tight end, That's Jay Riemersma. It's a gain of 11. Riemersma, a couple years ago, in fact, the last time these two teams played, caught 2 touchdowns against the Packers.
That's why I mentioned him as kind of the below the radar, one of those guys, he and Josh Reed, because you're so worried about the other tools, you forget about a guy like Riemersma, who's always there as the sort of relief valve for Drew Bledsoe. But, you know, if this drive was to end right here short of the 50-yard line, it's immediately a big success for the Buffalo Bills in a game like this. We'll keep reiterating the weather, the wind, and the fact that it's a field position game.
42-yard line, 1st and 10 for Bledsoe. And Travis Henry trying to find some kind of niche. Nate Wayne met him first and brought down by Nickerson and Joe Walker, gain of 4. And he's up to the 46. CBS Monday is America's best night of television, starting with the King of Queens and followed by Yes Dear. Everybody Loves Raymond and Still Standing. Then don't miss TV's #1 news show, CSI Miami, plus The Late Show with David Letterman. After your local news, it's Monday here on CBS, America's most watched network.
Kevin, when you're watching Travis Henry, watch where he first gets hit, then watch where he eventually gets tackled. There's a difference between him getting hit and him getting tackled.
2nd and 6 from the 46 for Bledsoe. Whips it outside. Caught by the tight end Riemersma again. Mike McKenzie tries to get him on the sideline. A gain of 9 on the play. So Riemersma with 2 nice catches on that side as they continue to move the chains.
Well, you know, there's different kind of things you can call a mismatch and good matchups you like. And usually, I think when you watch a game, you think that mismatches have to do with speed. But sometimes mismatches can have to do with size, like Jay Riemersma going against McKenzie, a cornerback. Because once he catches that ball, he has a distinct, almost like a center, going down the lane against a guard kind of a thing in basketball. He's got such a size advantage.
8th play of the Buffalo drive. They began on their 6 at the Green Bay 45. Bledsoe fires the pass, incomplete. A little bit high for Eric Moulds. It'll be 2nd down. If you're Greg Williams coming into this kind of environment, weather, fans, importance of the game, how do you plot your course?
Well, you know, he's approached this whole thing in 3 phases. He says, number 1, you've got to be careful of a real fast Green Bay start, and you have to guard against that. And safe to say, with 1 minute and 19 seconds to go in the 1st quarter, they've avoided the fast start by the Packers. You want to really avoid a big score at the end of the half, which Favre is so good at, and don't give them a late chance late in the game. And you have a chance to win if you can do all 3 of those.
2nd down and 10. Travis Henry, who has fumbled today, tries to dance outside. McKenzie got him first, and Diggs got him to finish him. Gain of 3 and down to the 42-yard line of Green Bay. Here's how Buffalo, it's weird and as wandering as it seems, can still make the playoffs.
Can you say convoluted? It's amazing. In week 16 with 2 games left, it's still this complicated in the AFC. But Greg Williams was the first one to point out when he was with the Houston Oilers, you know, Pittsburgh had to have 5 people lose on Sunday and Monday night have the right team win, and everything fell perfectly for them. So it's hard to convince him a convoluted scenario is out of his favor.
You saw Bryant Westbrook in the secondary for Green Bay, 3rd and 7. And Bledsoe going deep, looking for Moulds down the side, incomplete. They have thrown 4 times to Eric Moulds, the number 7 receiver in the NFL, and no reception so far. It's 4th down, and the Buffalo Bills, who look like they were getting a little bit of momentum, have to punt it away.
Well, if you're a receiver in this game for either one of these quarterbacks, you had better be very, very patient, because no 2 passes will look the same. One is going to float, one is going to drive into the wind, one is going to move left, one is going to move right, one's going to come down short. And that one case right there, he drove into the wind, and Moulds was slowing down for it to come up short.
J.J. Moses awaits Brian Moorman's punt, high snap, and not that good-looking punt. Landing at the 20.
It's looking better.
And now it rolls another 10 yards down to the 10. Brian Moorman, the number 6 punter in the NFL.
That's what they call putting earrings on a pig.
Good looking
rolls far enough.
Have any idea where that medicine you're taking came from? That it may even be a counterfeit? Curious? Try watching 60 Minutes tonight.
Monday, Jay's got Kelly Ripa and the Dallas Cowboys' Emmitt Smith. Plus, music from Missy Elliott and Late Show Beat the Clock.
This truly is your lucky day, then, isn't it?
Monday.
Brett Favre has thrown an interception. Buffalo has turned it over twice. Bledsoe threw an interception for Buffalo into the end zone, picked off by Sharper. Not much going on here in the first quarter in Green Bay. Outside the 10 after the Buffalo punt. Favre takes over, first down and 10. And Amon Green, blocked by Tony Carter. And then Pat Williams. Boy, he's so quick for a guy so big. Makes the stop after a gain of 6. Carter was leading the way in. What a great scene. Green Bay, Wisconsin at holiday time. It is cold. The Packers and Buffalo Bills with no score. That's the end of the first quarter. We'll be back to Green Bay after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Log on to NFL.com. Read why Phil Simms says parity might bring hope to many teams, but it adds to the health and heartache of a lot after Week 17. NFL.com. Here's a handoff to Amon Green on 2nd down and 4. That's the first play of the second quarter. And it's a gain of 3 on the play. Randy Cross, Kevin Harlan, some thoughts on the first quarter.
Well, Greg Williams wanted to prevent a fast Packers start. Well, 14 plays, 35 yards, that's pretty much preventing that fast start. Only 1 first down. The problem is his offense is doing less.
Is the wind doing what you thought it would do to the game?
It's a field position, cold football game. The punters are having problems. The quarterbacks are having problems. The fans are having problems.
The announcer, third down, the long one. Shy of the 20. And Green is close to a first down. Had to get beyond the 20. And looks like that's where they'll spot the ball. Let's see. It is after the 21. This team is still so young, yet Randy, Green Bay is 11-3 amongst the best in the league record-wise.
Well, that's why I think when you look at coaches of the year, you have to look at Mike Sherman and Andy Reid in the NFC because they've done so much despite injuries, despite playing different people. Some of these guys are so young they don't know any better. A lot of it's good coaching.
Carter remains in the backfield. 1st and 10, Amon Green stiff arms his way by Robinson. Past the 35 to the 37. Brought down by Robinson. 16-yard gallop for Amon Green, the NFC's number 4 rusher.
And if you're going to have some guys that don't know any better, it's not always bad to surround them with guys like Brett Favre and Amon Green. Amon Green showing that he's got his own little straight arm there. Travis Henry's not the only one in this game with that action, and the back end of Nebraska has always run with power. And curiously, he also early in his career had a real fumbling problem.
Tony Fisher is in the out with Holmgren in Seattle. On the 36, 1st and 10, the fake to Fisher. Favre dumps it off to the rookie free agent out of Notre Dame, and then he is brought down by Fletcher and Williams. And no gain on the play. 2nd down.
When Brett Favre throws the football, sometimes it kind of reminds me of Greg Maddux. I live in Atlanta, so I get a chance to watch Greg Maddux throw the ball a lot. The only difference is Maddux doesn't have the heater like Brett Favre has, but he can throw it at so many different velocities and so many different angles, and he can do so many different things with the football. He's truly kind of a magician with it.
They say he throws harder in practice than he does in the games.
He's just trying to be a smart aleck, I think, in practice, make his point and put a few dots on people's chests.
Driver has not caught a pass yet. Fisher in the backfield. On a pass caught by Donald Driver. Breaking one tackle after another, and then Chidi Ahanotu brings him down. A 14-yard pickup, a first down catch and run to the Buffalo 49.
But one thing he also does in practice is he expects his receivers to run exactly the same routes in the practices that they will in the games. He and Driver and Glenn sit in the back of the meeting rooms, and Brett tells his receivers, look, great route. I love the way you ran that. Run it in the game. I'll get you the ball. Donald Driver ran the exact same route, I guarantee you, this week in practice. Brett Favre gave him the ball in the game the exact same way he did in practice.
Bob Green back in, 1st and 10. Fake handoffs, and outside they go. Terry Grant smelled out beautifully on the play by Aaron Schobel, then finished off on the side by Pearson Prelo, a loss of 2. And move the ball back to about the Green Bay 49. Well, tonight on CBS, Emmy winners Patricia Heaton and Peter Falk star in a magical holiday movie for the whole family. Don't miss A Town Without Christmas tonight on CBS, America's most watched network. With Randy Cross and Beasley Reese, Kevin Harlan, historic Lambeau in Green Bay, where it is cold and windy. 2nd down and 12. Packers at their 49. Nice snap from Winters, pulled down by Favre. Rush comes on and down he goes. And a flag is thrown on the play. Aaron Schobel is the one to trip him up and knock him down. There he is. His brother plays in the NFL as well. He went around Flanagan on that left tackle, the former starting center for Green Bay.
The second nice play in a row by Aaron Schobel. Just a quick, aggressive move on that fake reverse kind of dump off to Terry Glenn. He made a nice play. And right there on that play, a very, very nice, quick, instinctive play.
Holding, number 93, defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. That's a first down.
That's Pat Williams, who's had a nice season, taking the place of Ted Washington, who vacated that position a couple years ago to Chicago.
You don't see this very often. There's Pat Williams in the middle. Watch him grab Ahman Green coming through the backfield and just throw him to the ground. Saw that in the Super Bowl a couple years. A couple years ago in that Baltimore-New York Giants game, called against, I think, Keith Hamilton. In that Super Bowl, you don't very rarely see that called.
46-yard line, 1st and 10. Ahman Green. Stutter steps, a Carter block, and outside he goes, and brought down by Nate Clemens for no gain. 2nd down and 10.
That was almost a really good move by Ahman Green, because Clemens just did get his feet, because he went for that first kind of juke inside fake, but stayed with him long enough. And if there's another thing that I think this defense for Buffalo really needs to concentrate on and do much better, especially against Green Bay, is tackle. Not only catch the interceptions they can get to, they got to tackle these Green Bay Packers skill players.
2nd down and 10. Favre has thrown a pick. Bledsoe has thrown an interception as well. Buffalo has also fumbled. Both turnovers for Buffalo in Green Bay territory. 2nd and 10. Here comes Robinson. There goes Favre. Fires downfield, incomplete, looking for the leaping Robert Ferguson. Incomplete. The coverage on the play by Antoine Winfield. He's out of Ohio State. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Tell you one thing that this Buffalo Bills team absolutely has is 2 corners in Clemens and Winfield that can man-on-man match up with anybody Green Bay has. The problem they have is when they get to their 3rd and 4th, nickel and dime backs matching up with the Green Bay receivers inside.
What can defensive backs like Winfield tell about the splits of, say, the Green Bay receivers today?
It'll tell them the routes. You watch enough tape, especially end zone tapes, it'll tell you when they line up inside near the hash marks, they're more liable to run outs. Outside the hash marks and numbers, they're going to run in routes.
3rd and 10 for the 46. A block by Berry. Time for Favre, but from the blind side, Schobel brings him down. That's his 8th sack of the season. The first sack on Favre, and Green Bay has got a punt. And Aaron Schobel had a nice little defensive series for the Buffalo Bills.
And we're seeing a lot of defensive ends in the league now that are kind of in this Schobel size range. Kabir Bajabiamila on the other side. Aaron, Jason Taylor with the Miami Dolphins.
John
Abraham coming in from the left. They're guys that have high motors, are not necessarily huge football players, but they're real challenges for big, heavy offensive tackles.
Bidwell's 3rd consecutive punt for Green Bay. Nate Clemens will let it bounce in front of him, and then there's the roll you see to about the 10. Ferguson taps it. That's a 39-yard, well-placed punt by Josh Bidwell, and a scoreless first half from Lambeau.
Basketball Championship on CBS.
A lot of turnovers, a lot of punts, and no scoring in this game. That is the frozen tundra license plate up here in Green Bay. Although the field is not frozen, it's actually a pretty good position.
Everything frozen on the tundras above it.
Yes. They got heaters, coils, water pipes underneath this field to keep it as good as it is.
So often you think coaches are being paranoid when they tell you stuff about a game. Oh, these guys are tough. It's going to be field position. It's going to be smash mouth football. Both guys told us the same thing. They're absolutely right so far.
From the 10, 1st and 10 after the Green Bay punt. 3rd straight Packer punt. Bledsoe to Travis Henry. He's fumbled today. Bouncing off one defender after another. Edwards trying to get him down, and finally does with some help from Mike McKenzie. And an avalanche of Packer players bring him down. He'll be up for about the 9 with no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Remember what I told you a little while ago about seeing where Travis Henry's hit and where he's tackled and the difference? Up until that last tidal wave hit him, there was a chance he could get away from Antoine Edwards. Not bad push inside, but watch when he gets in this area. That's one hit right there by Edwards. Edwards needs help. McKenzie's going to give him some help. They still need help. They need 2 more guys, and he still doesn't go down until 10 yards later. Well, talk about some strength.
What'd you say that kid benched?
485 pounds. That's ironically what I benched once in my life. And I played a little different position.
Yes, 2nd down and 10 from the 10. Fake by Bledsoe, buys him tons of time. Winds up and goes downfield for Price. Incomplete. Tailed on the play by McKenzie and Bowen. 3rd down coming up.
And Peerless Price has really been sort of the missing part of the puzzle for Buffalo. We've seen those great matchups between Moulds and McKenzie in the physical play. The fake kind of tended to bring up the linebackers, Hardy Nickerson of the Green Bay Packers. Just Drew Bledsoe was off with the ball, trying to drop it in that hole between the corner and the safety.
Bledsoe's only 2 of 9 going to his wide receivers this afternoon.
Remember last week, what, 11 of 31 for 107 yards. That's why I said in the open, he's got to start throwing the ball much better, much more effectively for this team to have the chance to win these 2 games.
3rd and 10. Bajab Biamila was coming around the side on Jonas Jennings. It was deflected. It is an incomplete pass, but nonetheless, one of the top sack men in the NFL putting pressure on Bledsoe, and that's going to force a Buffalo punt.
You know, Bajab Biamila can come from anywhere. Right here, he's on the bottom part of the screen. I'm sorry, he's top of the screen right there working against Jonas Jennings. See the edge he gets on Jennings? Bledsoe's arm is coming forward and the ball is deflected. Nice job by Tom White back there. But Jonas Jennings been slowed a little with a groin, and he's given up that edge, and that's one of the quickest defensive ends in the game.
This is the first 3 and out for the Buffalo Bills. Pressure is coming from Fisher. J.J. Moses deep back. Out of bounds, he is nailed. Coming through was Marcus Floyd. That is a 42-yard punt. Boy, they buried him. We've got a timeout.
This is Reuben Brown of the Buffalo Bills. Reuben helps the United Way build stronger communities by participating in after-school recreational outings that help kids succeed. To all of his fans, Reuben's a hero. To some of his fans, Reuben's a hero.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Acura and the 260 horsepower TL Type S. Duracell, trusted everywhere. And by American Express, make life rewarding.
Festive Green Bay and our holiday wishes to you and your family from all of us at CBS. Randy Cross, Beasley Reese, I'm Kevin Harlan. It's another possession for the Packers. They've got it 1st and 10. Pretty good field position at the 48. They've got Amon Green in the backfield and Favre right to work. Knocked away beautifully. Great diving coverage by Nate Clemens. 2nd down and 10. Monday on the Late Show, Dave welcomes Dallas Cowboys star running back Emmitt Smith plus Kelly Ripa and music star Missy Elliott. Missy Misdemeanor. I don't even know how I know that. It's all your, because I got two teenage daughters. It's all your Monday on CBS.
You walk in their rooms once in a while.
I know. I go, what is that noise? Turn that off. 2nd down and 10. It's Amon Green. Brought down the play by Grant Irons. Ryan Denny, gain of 3, and he's into Buffalo Bill territory at the 49. Green Bay has had a very un-Green Bay-like beginning to this game on offense.
Well, Mike Sherman and Greg Williams both pointed out, though, how important one word was going to be for both teams: patience. And you have to be patient when you start out interception, punt, punt, punt. Especially when you're an offensive coach. I mean, an old line coach like Mike Sherman that's coached everything. He's coached receivers, quarterbacks. But both coaches and their football team will have to be very patient. When they get a break and get a chance, take advantage.
3rd and 7 from the Buffalo 49. Favre hit by Newman, throws a pass, and it's caught by Driver. Drilled by Clemens. First down, Green Bay, gain of 20 to the Buffalo Bill 29.
Well, part of being patient is being very good with your technique. And when you're a defensive back, having good technique is not only just being able to get your arm in front and strip the ball. It's if you get the arm in front and try to strip the ball and the receiver catches the ball, then you've got to tackle him. Well, as you see right here, Antonio Winfield gets the strip part almost, but the tackle part gets away. But the tackle part does not get away from Nate Clemens. Great hit.
29-yard line, 1st and 10. Favre. Here comes Denny, and Favre unloads to the end zone, and Ferguson caught out of bounds. Stepped out of bounds, incomplete. But that was a spectacular catch.
And you can see it's a good call by our officials. It's in the wide area, right in the back of the end zone. See those divots right there? That's right where he came down. And the officials were both on either side. Watch his feet. I mean, wonderful catch. And, you know, you can talk about all you want. It's either out of bounds. You can talk about the catch all you want, but what other quarterback in the NFL running that hard to his left can throw that far down the field, whose name isn't Michael Vick, who happens to be left-handed?
2nd and 10, 29. Pitch out to Amon Green. Good block by Davis. Good block by Rivera. And then finally Fletcher and Denny bring him down after a gain of 4 to the 25. And let's go to our studios in New York and Jim Nance.
All right, Kevin, we're inside 4 minutes to play first half, and Eddie George has scored for the 2nd time today, giving the Titans a 14-3 lead. They actually recovered an onside kick, but missed on a Nedney field goal try. 14-3 Tennessee, back to you.
Tennessee comes in 9-5, Randy.
There's another coach doing a heck of a job, Jeff Fisher in Tennessee, because Tennessee is a team people are ignoring. And anybody who plays them in the playoffs better not ignore them, because they're going to the playoffs.
It's 3rd and 6 outside the Buffalo 25. Amon Green jetting down the middle. And then tripped up by Fletcher and brought down. Only picks up 8 yards. A slashing 8 yards on 3rd and 6 and a first down for Green Bay.
One of the things that makes a team like Tennessee so powerful is their strength and their basic aggressive nature. And Green Bay right now has got to get back to that basic aggressive nature, like Eddie George pounding the ball for Tennessee. Well, Green has got to pound the ball for Green Bay. Try to make the difference, a physical difference between these two teams.
1st and 10, Amon Green has got 56 yards. He'll stay there. Brought down by Schobel. On the line, Justin Bannon. Gain of a couple on the play. 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Well, when he rushes for 100 yards or more, that's Green. His team, whether it was Seattle or Green Bay, 14-0. And he's now at 58. 2nd and 8. 2nd down and 8 off the Buffalo Bills 15-yard line. Fisher in the game, and he gets the fake from Favre. Right through the fingertips and incomplete. Bubba Franks, first time he has gone to him. That ball had some serious gas on it. 3rd and 8.
Well, so I'll repeat myself here, if you'll excuse me for a second. Look at Brett Favre going in this direction and throwing in this direction and throwing the ball so hard. Bubba Franks, you know, that's one of those passes. You go to put your hand up, you're not really sure if you even should, because you're not necessarily going to. All you're going to do is stop it and break something in your hand if it hits it.
Might shatter. Packers on this drive have converted 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 7. Franks is out. Favre with it 3rd and 8 at the Bills 15. Tony Fisher. Boy, Buffalo read it well. Aaron Schobel there once again, 2 years out of TCU. And the Buffalo defense does their job, holding Green Bay out of the end zone, relegating the Packers to a 3-point try.
Yeah, I talked about Tennessee and Jeff Fisher. Greg Williams came from there, and there's Aaron Schobel, 94. And this whole defense sort of playing like that Greg Williams defense did at Tennessee, being very physical. Right there in that matchup, the difference wasn't Green Bay being more physical, it was the Buffalo defense having the physical edge.
Ryan Longwell has hit 15 consecutive field goals at Lambeau Field and make it 16 with that 33-yard boot. And the Packers are on the board. Mike Sherman and his Green Bay team leading the Buffalo Bills 3-0.
A wild one in the West. The Chiefs in a huge game against Oakland as the Raiders battle to be the best in the AFC West next Saturday on CBS.
Well, it's maybe, Randy, not what they wanted, but it's what they got. A field goal, 33 yards by Longwell, and they lead for the first time today over the Buffalo Bills.
It's almost like a touchdown lead in these conditions in this kind of football game. And remember what we mentioned earlier about last possession of the first half being one of Greg Williams' big keys for this game. They prevented the fast start by the Packers, but with 3:57 to go, his offense gets the ball here. They've got to keep it the rest of this half because they don't want to get Brett Favre back on the field with a chance to score.
We saw the defense getting ready to get back on the field. The wind is blowing enough that it's got to be held, as you can see, and Longwell will boot it from the 30. This is Charlie Rogers at about the 15 for the Buffalo Bills. And finally doused by fullback William Henderson. 19-yard return, and he's up to the 33-yard line. Important first half possession coming up for Buffalo now.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new Accord from Honda. It's more Accord than ever. And by National Security, starring Martin Lawrence in theaters January 17th.
They just did an online poll here, the greatest Green Bay Packer ever. You see some outstanding names up there, but Brett Favre won in the landslide. Not a surprise, maybe. Drew Bledsoe is only 4 of 12. He's missed his last 4 throws. He's got it at the 34. It's 1st and 10. Pretty important drive for the Bills before halftime. Looking for his 4th option here, and it's incomplete. Trying to slide one out to his reserve tight end, Dave Moore. They'll be 2nd down and 10.
And just to sort of remind you how important this game is, not only for Buffalo or this drive, but also for the Green Bay Packers. They're a half game back now with Philadelphia winning in that laugher against Dallas yesterday, and they in Tampa. And I firmly believe whoever wins home field in the NFC is going to be the Super Bowl representative, because the chances of going to Tampa or to Philly or goodness knows coming here and winning playoff games is going to be darn near close to impossible because of the quality of all 3 of those teams.
They need some help. 2nd down and 10. Nothing caught yet by Eric Moulds. That goes again to the tight end, the former Tampa Bay Buck, Dave Moore. And he makes his 16th reception of the season. He picks up 7. He's just beyond the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and there's a guy sitting on the Green Bay sideline wearing number 4, doesn't have his helmet off, or has his helmet off, just sitting here watching 3rd down saying, please let me on the field. Because it's kind of his time of the football game. And Drew Bledsoe and this Bills offense have to make sure that Brett Favre and that Packer offense stay right where they are on the sideline. Number 1 goal is keep the ball, Kevin. Number 2 goal is get points.
Buffalo today, interception, fumble, both in Green Bay territory, and punt. Outside the 40, 3rd and 3, and Bledsoe wants to talk it over as he burns his first time out. With 2:57 to play in the 2nd quarter. Little chat on the sideline.
The holiday season is a time for cherishing family and friends.
This year, take a moment
and think about those less fortunate than yourself.
Then do something to help.
Donate clothing to the needy.
Food to the hungry.
Give to the charity of your choice.
Give of yourself.
Happy holidays from all of us at CBS.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Coming up, the Nextel halftime report from New York. Jim, Dan, Dion, and Boomer have scores and highlights. Nextel halftime on deck. Big news, of course, leading off the pregame show today. Bill Parcells, Jerry Jones talking about a possible Dallas Cowboy GM or head coaching job.
Well, no surprise there if you follow Parcells' history. Tried to get Dion coming back to the Raiders. Also no surprise there.
After the Buffalo timeout. 3rd along 3 outside the Bills 40. Here comes Baja Biamila, the first Green Bay sack today. and his 12th of the season, which is in the top 5 in the National Football League. And the Packers defense holds the Buffalo Bills, and now they got a punt.
Now the tackle, Jonas Jennings, you want to keep your shoulders like this, okay? You don't want them to get like this. Watch those shoulders spin immediately perpendicular to the line of scrimmage. Bang, you're dead. You're giving up the corner, and you're giving up a sack, and Brett Favre and the Packer offense gets the ball back.
Second consecutive 3-and-out for the Buffalo Bills. Third consecutive punt coming up. High snap. J.J. Moses is back at the 25. Wow. Coy Wire was down there. The rookie out of Stanford, the starting safety, belts him. 42-yard punt, 8-yard return. Well, tonight on 60 Minutes, have you any idea where the medicine you're taking came from? That it might even be a counterfeit. Curious? Try watching 60 Minutes tonight here on CBS. Nothing counterfeit about the feeling you get when you come to Green Bay, nor the cold. It's chilly.
You know, college football has Notre Dame and that stadium. Baseball, Major League Baseball has Yankee Stadium. One time in your life, if you're a football fan, you have got to come here to Lambeau Field and see a football game played here. This is just the real deal. This is it.
On the 34, 1st and 10, he goes outside, caught by Terry Glenn. Forced out of bounds by Fletcher, has a first down up to the Packer 46. It's a gain of 12.
And if you are a football fan and you want to make that one trip, do it soon, because you want to do it while Brett Favre is still playing quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, because he can do it as well as anybody has ever done it. And I played with a guy that I didn't think I'd see anybody in 10, 15, 20 years that played with the poise and control that Joe Montana did. But Brett Favre has, I think, better skills than most people that have played the position, and has all the poise and control of anybody I played with. And he had a lot to live up to in Bart Starr, who won the Super Bowls here and was a coach here for the Packers. But there's a reason Brett Favre was voted the best player in Green Bay history by the fans. He is.
We've reached the 2-minute warning with the Packers on top 3-0.
Christmas Day.
Ready, Santa?
Celebrate the holidays with family and friends and everybody's favorite, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Only on CBS Christmas Day.
It's the Nextel halftime report with Jim, Dan, Deanne, and Boomer, all from New York, and all scores and highlights coming your way. The Nextel halftime next here on CBS.
And there's exactly why Greg Williams was so worried about Brett Favre and that Packer offense at the end of the first half.
1st and 10, Amon Green, grabbed by Ahanotu from behind, picks up 4, and he's up near midfield.
Yeah, Chidi Ahanotu, he's got a history with Green Bay. Played with St. Louis, played him in the playoffs down there in St. Louis when those Rams had the high-powered offense, and with Tampa Bay, he knows exactly what he faces with this Brett Favre offense.
Packers have 3 timeouts, 2nd down and 6 from the 50. Favre fires a pass, and it's caught by Robert Ferguson. It's a gain of 11, sliding in front of Clemens. He's down to the Buffalo 39. That's his first catch today.
Now there's a great example of, I'm going to throw it to you in the second window. First window's just past the corner. Second window's just past the safety. He fired that right in the second window.
1st and 10 from the 39. Favre outside. Caught by Driver. He's caught by Thomas, who picked off Favre earlier in the game. It's a gain of 2. Clock continues to go.
Plenty of time. Absolute ages.
Now a timeout. Green Bay's got 2. Buffalo has 2. Packers lead on a 33-yard field goal.
This is Reuben Brown of the Buffalo Bills. Reuben helps the United Way build stronger communities by participating in after-school recreational outings that help kids succeed. To all of his fans, Reuben's a hero. To some of his fans, Reuben's a hero.
Next Sunday at 5 Eastern, check out a cutting-edge challenge featuring the world's hottest freestylers, including Olympic gold medalist Johnny Mosley and Tanner Hall, and many more at the Paul Mitchell Ultimate Bumps and Jumps here on CBS.
This drive so far, Kevin, Favre 3 of 3 to 3 different receivers.
After the timeout, 2nd down 9 from the 38. Throws the dart. It's Driver grabbed from behind. by Winfield. It's a gain of 6 to the Buffalo 32. Shy of a first down by a couple.
They tried the blitz there. Nice pickup by the Green Bay Packers line. And good anticipation and breaking off the route by Donald Driver to be right where Brett Favre needed him to be.
Packers have 2 timeouts. Third down and 3 from the 32. Favre chased by Edwards. Finds room. Downfield deep to Ferguson. Incomplete. Covered by Thomas. No yellow on the field. No flag out there. It'll be now 4th and 3 for Green Bay. The 2 timeouts remain. What do? Do you try for a field goal in this wind?
Well, you can't kick it. You can't kick a field goal this far in this wind. And nice coverage. And right now, Greg Williams and everybody on that Buffalo sideline and back home in Buffalo watching this game, rooting for their Bills, can start breathing again. Because that was nice defensive positioning, and Mike Sherman's offense gave it a shot. But you can't kick here. You've got to try to pick up this first down.
Longwell's longest this year, 49. So they're going to go for it on 4th and 3 inside the Buffalo 33. Got a block from Amon Green. One off his receiver, Glenn, and Green Bay will turn it over on downs. And the Buffalo Bills, you just alluded to it, have escaped a major sledgehammer.
And right there was an unforced error. You know, I hate to bring up a tennis analogy here, but you know that was just purely straight into the net by Brett Favre. Because he gets the snap, he comes right, and the ball is going to be right on the money. Or how about right there at Glenn's feet? And, you know, it's one of the things, you got one of the great gunslingers at quarterback. Sometimes you hit a blank. And Brett Favre there hit a blank.
So Green Bay losing it on downs for the first time. Those are some of his numbers. The interception by Thomas. And Buffalo now is going to be with the ball, 32-yard line, 2 timeouts, and Bledsoe. It's a block from centers and goes downfield, intercepted by Diggs. It's the second interception thrown by Bledsoe, the 3rd Buffalo turnover today. And for Diggs, his 2nd pick this season.
In this circumstance, I was very surprised, to be honest with you, Kevin, that you're down there slinging the ball in a dangerous part of the field. Throwing outside where things are safe, I could see it. But here in the middle of the field, where your problem is, I don't understand why you throw the ball here and give this offense a chance to get back on the field. Trying to get it inside the Peerless Prize, who they've had just blanketed all day. That was a bad decision and a bad throw.
Packers trying to cash in at the Buffalo 45. 1st and 10. Favre runs and throws downfield, dropped by Glenn. At about the 21. Packers have 2 timeouts, 18 first half seconds remaining. 3 drops by Packer receivers today. It'll be 2nd down.
A kind of half smile on Brett Favre's face. He kind of, I did my part. You know, there was about a shoebox size window to put that ball in, and I got it to that spot. I think it just kind of moved a little bit on Terry Glenn. It was actually very, very nice coverage. But that ball was just placed exactly where it had to be. Glenn couldn't adjust his body.
4 receivers, platoon, 2nd down and 10. Packers at the Buffalo 45. Amon Green at Favre's side. And it goes to the aforementioned Green, working on Winfield and belted on the play by Coy Wire. And time now at 10 seconds. Green Bay burns their 2nd timeout. It's a gain of 6 on the play to the Buffalo 34.
I watched the kickers before the game kicking in this direction. From about 40 yards back, that ball hits about goal line and starts dying in the air. I think 40 yards is the maximum field goal you can try in this direction.
Right now it's about 52 yards.
And you've got to move this ball probably another 13, 14 yards down the field to get to a 40-yard field goal. And you've got to do it on the outside of the field. And if you're going to move this ball in this situation, I think you got to get the ball to Donald Driver.
Longwell's long boot of the season, 49 yards, and he has hit 16 of his last 17 overall. We mentioned when he hit that 33-yarder earlier in the game, 16 straight here in Lambeau. It is 1st and 10. The Packers have Favre in the gun from the 35. Timeout Buffalo, and they've now got 1 left.
Or London Fletcher. It's one of the values of having a veteran like Fletcher in there. He didn't like the defense, didn't like the personnel. He knew there was something wrong, and he called the timeout. That's a smart move by the Buffalo middle linebacker.
You know, here in Wisconsin, talk of Brett Favre and how long he'll play constantly coming up, and he's always asked about it. And he was asked by you that same question yesterday.
Mainly because I asked him, did you regret ever bringing the subject up? Because now everybody nails you on it. And he said, no, it's, you know, I watch the tape. People understand it's not anything besides my decision on how I see I'm playing. And I can really associate with what he's saying, because that's the reason I quit. You know, I was on a Super Bowl team. I didn't have to walk away. My line was Bob McKittrick.
A play or a practice or a...
You watch the games. You're not playing like you used to. You're not doing the things you used to be able to. And he says he's starting to notice that. And when he notices it too much, that's when he's going to quit.
1st and 10. One timeout for the Packers. 35-yard line. Favre. Roman Green incomplete. They wave it off. Incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10. The clock at 5 seconds. What do you do? What do you do?
I think you throw it into the end zone and hope you get a tip pass and your guy catches it.
He's shaking his head.
There's not a chance.
I'm assuming, yeah, I can't hit it with this wind. There's no way I'm going to hit it.
No, not with both legs.
Now that, I'd pay to see that. I'd pay to see that.
It'd be a 52-yarder at least, maybe 53 if you lined up far enough back into this wind, and there's not a chance in the world. You know, not even Gary Anderson hit that great kick on CBS yesterday for Minnesota to beat Miami and set up this mess in the AFC playoff-wise. You see the Big Ben formation, all the receivers, bottom of the screen. Here they go.
And Favre winds and throws down the side, caught by Glenn. Hit so hard by Winfield, his helmet came off. Incomplete, they say. Caught it out of bounds. No time remains. And again, the Buffalo Bills defense holds Favre, Glenn, and the Packer offense. That was a Major League NFL whack.
It knocked his chin strap pad off. Hey, for Greg Williams and the Buffalo Bills, they wanted to prevent the fast start. They wanted to prevent the late score. They did both.
To Beasley Reese on the field.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. I'm with Coach Williams. And Coach, just talk about that first half. You talked about avoiding a fast start by the Packers, and then something at the half. You did them both.
We did them both, and we're playing with our backs against the wall on defense. We've got a couple of turnovers. We get some rhythm on offense, we'll be fine. We've got to come out and win this second half, and we've got to establish our offense and get things moving.
Thank you, Coach.
Buffalo Bills still alive in the AFC playoff race. Green Bay trying for home field. Vital game, playoff implications. We'll take you to New York after this for the Nextel halftime report. After this message and a word from your local station.
Mondays got you down.
Monday.
Let CBS pick you up with America's funniest night of television. The King of Queens.
Yeah.
Yes, dear. Everybody Loves Raymond.
Hey.
And Still Standing.
Let the adoring begin. Monday. People sound like maniacs. It's here to stay. Yeah.
Don't miss CBS Monday.
It's all here.
Monday night.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Halftime Report. Nextel, bringing you wireless solutions.
As we welcome you to the Nextel Halftime Report. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to our studios here in New York. A little melancholy feeling here. Could be one of Dion's last halftimes here on the Nextel Halftime Reports. Dan, Dion, and Boomer alongside. Raider story still brewing. Let's get everybody up to date around the league. These two high-powered teams. Only a field goal in the first half at Lambeau Field there, Mr. Marino.
These two gunslingers combined for what? Less than 100 yards, Brett Favre. Less than 50 for Drew Bledsoe, and some interceptions. And you see an interception right here. Brett Favre with that strong arm tries to fit it in sometimes. Gets picked off by Kevin Thomas, who proceeds down the sideline, putting the Buffalo Bills inside the 10. Drew Bledsoe right here returns the favor. This has been a problem for Drew Bledsoe all year. Darren Sharper picking it off. Watch the hit right on his knee. Oh, and he lays there for a while afterwards. And then Brett Favre back to pass, steps up in the pocket. Aaron Schobel in for the sack. And this is an extremely boring football game with two great quarterbacks. Yes, playing. it is.
Wow. Buffalo total yards, 64. That's it. Elsewhere, San Diego and Kansas City, and the Chiefs without Priest Holmes today, up 14-6. Trent Green with a pair of touchdown tosses in that one.
Yeah, Trent Green is really actually playing very well. San Diego gets back on the board right at the end of the first half. There is
Priest Holmes wearing his leather jacket. They'd rather see him in a red Kansas City jersey. But how about this? Check out the strength of Tony Gonzalez. What a nice catch on the sideline. Breaks 3 tackles. This is why he is the preeminent tight end in the AFC. Gains 18 yards down the sideline.
That's a Maryland word.
There you go. I know. Here you go. How about this? Trent Green. Look at the poise. Just sit and wait. Mark Polrichter in the back of the end zone. 8-yard touchdown pass. And then he throws it to Omar who?
Omar Ease.
All he does is catch touchdowns. That's his first catch ever in his career for a touchdown.
Making it look so easy.
Yes, indeed. Tennessee and Jacksonville. The Titans making it look easy. A pair of Eddie George touchdowns. They're on to the third quarter down there in Jacksonville. It's been all Titans so far, as Jacksonville has no running game to this point and only 4 first downs.
You think Santa Claus is coming to town? Eddie George is coming to a touchdown near you. Eddie George runs over one, and here's another one. Putting the Titans up 7-0. Coach Fisher smiling on this one. When Steve McNair can't find anyone to throw Boomer, what does he do?
He rolls out.
Rolls out. I like this.
Like Ludacris.
Isn't
that who it is?
You know about Ludacris.
You've been driving around in the hood. 26 yards on the run. Then Eddie George barrels up the middle for a 1-yard touchdown. His second of the day.
You are so proud of yourself.
I am. I got that.
You are really
good.
Hey. How about the Giants? Well, the Colts get on the board here right before the half. Giants, Tiki Barber getting in the end zone, leading it there 10-3. Critical game on each side there. Giants also need some help now to make the playoffs. Watching Atlanta and New Orleans very closely. Texans up at Washington, and the Redskins, Darius Thompson. Dion, you knew this guy back when he was on the Redskins practice squad. Patrick Ramsey has found him. In fact, Ramsey's thrown for 2 touchdowns.
Ramsey's found him twice at Washington, the little Dell Betts. I bet you he just ran for 24 yards on that carry right there. Now, Washington's Patrick Ramsey hooks up with my old scout team partner, Darius Thompson, 28 yards on the game. Then Patrick Ramsey hits a wide open Rock Cartwright. What is this, Bonanza? Rock Cartwright? Who is Rock Cartwright? But during the punt, Houston's Billy Miller is called for holding and pulls down Ladarius Jackson in the end zone, which is automatically results in a safety. Now my man again. I used to rough this guy up. Now he's roughing secondaries up. Darius Thompson goes in again for a second touchdown, putting the Redskins up 16-3.
All right, elsewhere, New Orleans playing at Cincinnati, and Dillon has good numbers on the McAllister side. 14 carries, 21 yards. That's it, but there's Dante Stallworth. He caught a long one for a touchdown, 57-yarder to give him the lead. And Atlanta now on the board with a touchdown pass from Vick, as the Lions could be on their way to back-to-back winless road seasons. Marnie Morning League 0-8 last year on the road, and if they fall here today, 0-8 yet again. Chicago down. They've got Burris in at quarterback, Chandler out with an injury, and Carolina leading here as D. Brown has a couple of touchdowns on the ground for Carolina. This is a doubleheader day on CBS, and the big one for most of you, Denver and Oakland. Some will see Cleveland against Baltimore. And again, if you are with us on the NFL Today, Dion dropping the little nugget on us that he is considering seriously a contract offer to join the Raiders, perhaps as early as this week for their postseason drive. They're injured in the secondary.
Yes, they are, and this is a serious issue. But, you know, I miss you guys, and I don't know if you guys can replace me.
I want you to know, seriously, I want you to know we already have a lot of people sending in resumes. Some people want a pinch hit for you.
Already?
Yeah. In fact, there's one guy here right now. Come on up here. My friend, how are you?
Here's my resume right here.
You got to be kidding me.
Thank you. Mr. Rodriguez, you have some experience in Seattle and Texas Rangers. And
you just said only on the weekends, right?
Only on the weekends. And all right. We'll call you if we need you.
Hey, Rod, thank you, man.
Can you hit a curveball? That's all I want to know.
I tell you what, you will not get him up under the salary cap.
He can hit you. He can hit blind.
You won't get him up under the salary
Coming
cap.
up next, thanks for being with us on the Nextel halftime report.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel halftime report. Nextel, bringing you wireless solutions. CBS Sports presents the Nextel halftime report. Nextel, bringing you wireless solutions.
A Ryan Longwell field goal, the only scoring in this game. We'll return to Green Bay after this message from your local station as you're watching the NFL on CBS. The Green Bay Packers and the Buffalo Bills entering the second half. Moments ago, Beasley Reese caught up with Mike Sherman.
Coach, just an excellent first half of football for the fans at home. A little tight for you guys, though. What did you say in the locker room?
Well, we're real close on a lot of the runs and passes. I was pleased with our ball control on offense, but we got to get closer. We got to get field goals. We got to get touchdowns. We're not getting close enough. But we're controlling the football. We're real close on some of those runs. Defensively, we just got to keep playing hard and trying to get some turnovers.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Beasley, and thank you. And some of your first half thoughts.
Well, you know, in a high-tech year of multifaceted Air Forces, this was a low-tech ground game, defensive football game in the first half. I love it. I think this is fun football to watch. It doesn't always have to be passes down the field. Look for the team that makes the big plays in that passing game, though, to be the ones that win.
And there is a lot at stake as you see through the first 30 minutes of this game, some of the numbers.
And the turnovers for Green Bay, especially down deep. That first interception by Brett Favre, and then Drew Bledsoe giving that ball right back on the interception. It was the key sequence in this football game so far.
Bledsoe has thrown 2 interceptions. Favre has thrown 1 interception. One of Bledsoe's interception in the end zone when they had it first and goal at the 9. Ryan Longwell sets to kick off for Green Bay as we start our second half, and the wind blew it off that tee as well. Old days, remember the kicker used to work on the ball, get it soft, and kind of make it pliable. Now it's like kicking a brick.
You saw that ball that Beasley Reese was holding up earlier in the game on the sideline as to, you know, why these players are fumbling it so much. I mean, this thing, it looks like almost somebody sprays resin on it. The thing's so shiny. Though it should be more aerodynamic for the kickers. It catches less wind.
They just brought up from the practice squad Erwin Sweeney, a rookie free agent from Nebraska, will hold it. We've got Joe Burns and Rogers deep back, and here we go, beginning our second half from Green Bay. It's Rogers. Nice block on Henderson. Good block by Burns, and he's out to the 31-yard line. 14-yard pickup. That begins the second half. And Drew Bledsoe, who has not had a great deal of success throwing to his wide receivers today, will take his team first down and 10 up at the 31.
Well, Mike Sherman's defense, Ed Donatell's his defensive coordinator, had to think, hey, look, I've got to get in these guys' faces. I got to stop these weapons. Well, you see from the graphic and now from this tape, Mike McKenzie and Ty Williams on the other side have done an excellent job of stopping the Buffalo weapons. This is why I think it'll be a big pass play that turns this game around. You can't keep this up on both sides the whole game.
Travis Henry on first and 10 finds a crack and slips through it and is brought down by Marcus Anderson, a rookie out of UCLA, close to a first down. And of about 9, maybe 10.
And it's not like Buffalo's receivers came into this game playing all right. It's a number 2 duo in the NFL. 170 receptions, 18 touchdowns between them, and they are barely number 2 to who, Kevin?
Hines Ward and Plexico Burress of Pittsburgh.
Who'd have guessed Hines Ward and Plexico Burress coming into the year? You tell me, who should start for Pittsburgh? Should it be Cordell Stewart or Tommy Maddox? Ward and Burress have had the year they've had because of the throwing of Tommy Maddox.
UNLV Pittsburgh next week. It is a first down, 41-yard line for Bledsoe with the short drop and a quick throw. It's outside to his tight end, Dave Moore. On him quickly, they got Anderson and Williams. It's a gain of 7. He's up to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, it's a little bit of what Greg Williams said he wanted to get going. Going in at halftime, he told Beasley that, offensively, defensively, we're doing good. We're getting turnovers. But offensively, we've got to get a little something going. And right now, his offense is giving that defense a little bit of a break. And Drew Bledsoe and the offense have got things going on. In fact, Drew Bledsoe has just passed for over 4,000 yards in this season.
How many guys have done that? It's second down and 3 at the 48. Draw play, Henry, good size hole. And he's brought down by Bowen. It's a gain of 7 and a Buffalo first down. Bledsoe has already set franchise single-season records for yards, attempts, completions, and 300-yard passing games this year.
And it tells you something when you come to a franchise and the guy whose records you're breaking just went into the Hall of Fame as to what kind of numbers you're doing. And a lot of people had a problem with him being in the Pro Bowl this year, he and Rich Gannon being the quarterbacks, but numbers like that and early success are why he's in that Pro Bowl.
45, 1st and 10. Henry running outside, and from behind Nate Wayne. And from the front, Mike McKenzie. Stop him shy of a gain of 10. He'll be close to a 1st down nonetheless, near the 35-yard line of Green Bay.
The spot to watch right here in the box with Trey Teague and Ruben Brown. Trey Teague knocks the defensive tackle on the ground. That's all you need for Travis Henry, is just a quick little hole, a quick little gap. Talked about why Drew Bledsoe went to the Pro Bowl. Well, the reason the Buffalo Bills are 7-7 and still in the hunt is because of the run blocking of this offensive line and the running of Travis Henry. Travis Henry has been the difference. It's been his running, not Bledsoe's passing, that's carried this team the last month and gives them a shot for a playoff spot.
2nd down, 1, 35 of Green Bay. And this is Sammy Morris in his 1st carry of the game and only his 2nd carry of the season. And he's shy of a 1st down.
You know, and I happen to believe there's a misconception in this league where bigger backs and shorter yardage mean better backs. You know, I live in Atlanta. The best short yardage back Atlanta has is Warwick Dunn, who's a little fella. And the best short yardage back that the Buffalo Bills have is Travis Henry. He's got the physical strength. Don't be fooled because he's short. He can pound it, and he's got the lower body strength to get you that yard.
Henry back in, 3rd down and 1 from the Green Bay 36. Quarterback sneak by 6'5" Drew Bledsoe, and he'll easily plow ahead for the 1st down. He's down to about the 34.
That was a nice call by Kevin Gilbride, the offensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills. You're in short yardage. You're 3rd and real short. You come out in the I formation. You've got a lead fullback. You got the defense creeping up. You got the linebackers creeping up. They're thinking lead blocker coming. I'm going to stuff this guy. And you sneak it with your big quarterback up the middle.
7th play of the 2nd half, opening drive by Bledsoe. From the Green Bay 34, 1st and 10. Here comes McKenzie on the blitz, who is blocked at the last second. The pass is caught at the 25, gain of 9. The grab made by Peerless Price. Close to a 1st down. Someone chipped McKenzie, who's coming on the blitz on the side.
Well, that's something that I think both these offenses have got to spend more time doing is paying attention to these edge rushers and getting either as a running back or a tight end, on McKenzie, on Schobel, on Biamilla.
5-minute drive, 2nd down and 1 from the 25. Under 10 to play here in the 3rd. Reamersma is on the move. The pitch out to Henry. Blocked by Williams, but they did not get Hardy Nickerson, who stops him for no gain on the play. 3rd down.
If you're trying to establish strength in your running, you want to establish your strength in your running going forward, going north and south, as that old cliche would mention, not going east and west. Here's east and west. Here's north and south. You be the judge. Which way is Buffalo trying to go? Where's their strength? Is it going sideways or straight ahead? Pretty easy to guess that they're trying to do something I don't think they're good enough at to do against this Green Bay defense.
Last time on 3rd and 1, Drew Bledsoe took it himself. 3rd and 1 from the Green Bay 25. They go to the air. Here comes Campman. There's the pass caught. Fearless Price. Gain of 5 and a 1st down to the Green Bay 20.
What makes that all the more amazing is the early receivers were out of the question, I think, because of the fumble snap. Everything's so critical for timing. Watch Bledsoe fumble this snap, just kind of get a little bit of a hitch in his giddy up, takes the early receiver out, and he's able to get the late ball out. And that might seem like just another 1st down, but they're now just into field goal range with this win. Remember, this is a much more powerful win kicking into these goalposts.
Eric Moulds still has not caught a pass. On the 21st and 10. Pitch out to Henry, end around. Peerless Price, a block by Jennings. Diggs can't get Price, and he gets up, and with McKenzie's help, held him out of bounds, a loss of 7. That'll push the ball back to the Green Bay 27-yard line for Buffalo.
That was just an excellent defensive play by Diggs, and You know, I think if Drew Bledsoe had to do it all over again, he might have stayed backside there and tried to get a little chip and a little block. Here's Niall Diggs right here. Watch what he does. Doesn't react too far down. He can still get out. See Drew Bledsoe, if he'd have just stayed for a second, maybe gotten a morsel on that defensive linebacker Diggs, that play would have had a much better chance. But overall, good defensive execution.
So it's second down and 17, 11th play of the drive. A drive which has lasted 7 minutes from the Green Bay 27. Bledsoe, first catch by Eric Moulds. Brought down by Bowen. Gain of 8, flag down at about the 19. Moulds' 87th catch of the season.
Right there in the face mask area. Yep. Now, I don't mean to be negative from the Buffalo standpoint, but this is the area of the field where they turn the ball over more than anybody in this football league. And that's where they turned it over early in this game when they got great field position inside the 20.
Personal foul, face mask, number 28, defense. It'll be half the distance to the goal. That's a first down.
That's Matt Bowen.
One more time with Bowen. Well, he had most of it. It's only incidental when you get it and get your hand right off it, but when that head jerks around and the official can see it from his angle that you've held onto it, you're going to get that thing 100% of the time. Nice call by our officials.
Second time this game that Buffalo has been inside the Green Bay 10 with the goal to go. Last time, Bledsoe threw an interception in the end zone. Travis Henry tackled from behind by Tyrone Williams, Diggs, and Nickerson. Gain of 3, second and goal. Eight-minute drive right now.
This is just what Dr. Greg Williams on the sideline for the Buffalo Bills ordered. Wanted his offense to get established, give his defense a little chance to sit. More importantly, keep the Packers offense off the field. But the full prescription here is a touchdown. It is not a field goal.
Second down and goal, and they're at the 5. Henry dives into the teeth of that Green Bay defense. Diggs was there again. Diggs, I think we've said his name about 10 times today. Cledius Hunt also getting off the pile. No gain, third and goal.
And Niall Diggs has quietly put together quite a year for the Green Bay Packers, coming in at linebacker. Watch the linebackers fill into the ball. Niall Diggs is right there. You talk about Hardy Nickerson is the guy that most people talk about as linebacker, but watching the tape, Niall Diggs has played as good as any linebacker in this division, easy.
Does Bledsoe go to the air here?
I think you've got to go to the air here, but you go to the air very conservatively, and I think you get the ball to Eric Moulds.
14th play of the drive, third and goal at the Green Bay 5 for Bledsoe. Blocked by Williams, and here comes Vonnie Holliday with the second Green Bay sack today. And Holliday's second sack of the year.
And in the red zone, Kevin, that's the next door neighbor to a turnover. There's no excuse for not getting rid of that ball. Drew Bledsoe will be the first one to tell you that. Greg Williams might be the second one to tell you that. But Vonnie Holliday comes in from the inside. Nice move. Working on the game inside. Working against center Trey Teague. And in this win, this field goal is questionable.
Mike Hollins with a 33-yard try. Green Bay kicked a 33-yard field goal the same end in the first half. And no good. Missing wide. Left. So in this holiday season, it's Vonnie Holliday who comes up with a huge play for the Green Bay Packers. Buffalo Bills come up short and wide on a chance to tie. It's the second time today the Bills have had it first and goal, and they've come up with no points both times.
That was a 47-word answer by Mike Hollis on the sideline as to what happened. Very simple, actual answer. I missed.
This is Green Bay's first second-half possession. Favre getting a block from Wall and throws to Glenn. And the catch is made with a gain of 8 at the Green Bay 32.
Hollis has a little motion from right to left to start with. And the wind here at Lambeau Field is going to push the ball this way, as it is, because it's coming in this direction down like this. Watch the ball. It's up. It's Ganacia. The wind just gets that thing up there and accentuates the draw.
Von Green in the backfield, second down and 2. Green gets the call. And climbs, it looks like, for a first down up to the 34-yard line with the tackle made by Ron Edwards.
Well, the Buffalo defense might have to score. They've set the Buffalo offense up in enough positions where it's either Hollis missing a field goal or Drew Bledsoe throwing an interception. Maybe the Buffalo defense needs to intercept the ball, pick up the fumble, and score themselves.
You surprised about the possible job on the line scenario the Buffalo newspapers are pointing out about Greg Williams?
That's utterly ridiculous. I think Greg Williams done a fine job. He's got one of the great football people in the business in Tom Donahoe with an assist from Tom Modrak.
1st and 10 with Favre throwing to Amon Green, brought down by Robinson, gain of 7 up to the 42. Last year they were 3-13.
And they weren't that good.
And they were not that good. This year they had Bledsoe. They're 7-7 and in the playoff race.
And Drew's been the difference, but it's been the development of the line. It's been the development of this defense despite playing a lot of young people. It's been the development of Travis Henry. This is a team very, very much on the upswing. There have been a couple questionable situations during the season. They always come up. I think this organization and this football team has nothing but a bright future in the next couple of years.
2nd and 3, 42. The fake to Amon Green, a block by Flanagan. That ball just left his hand, and he wisely jumps on it at the 34. He did that a couple weeks ago in the Sunday night game here against the Minnesota Vikings, where it was far colder. It was a loss of 7 yards right there back to the 34.
Yeah, Dante Culpepper had more of a problem, but you can almost see the shine on that ball. And Brett says no matter how big your hands are, no matter how well you think you've got the ball, you go back sometimes and that thing never even starts thinking about coming forward. Smart decision by him because he knows immediately that ball didn't come forward at any point. That was a fumble.
So now it is 3rd and 10. Favre recovers his own fumble inside the 35. Favre winds and throws for Driver. Incomplete. And the coverage applied on the play by Kevin Thomas, the rookie from UNLV, who has already intercepted Favre today, his first career interception. But they've gone at that kid a lot this afternoon.
It's another good example of the job that Donahoe and Modrak and Williams' staff have done in Buffalo. Who the heck is Thomas? You know, this guy is somebody that hasn't played at all.
Anonymous.
He comes in today. He's got an interception. He is doing a nice job of covering Donald Driver all day. The safeties are hitting.
Josh Bidwell's punt. And Charlie Rogers trying to win his way upfield to the 32-yard line. Return of about 8, 41-yard punt. Erwin Sweeney on the tackle.
There's an easier way to get the gear the pros wear. Call 877-NFL-SHOP for the biggest selection of authentic NFL gear. For your free team catalog, call 877-NFL-SHOP or go to NFL Shop on NFL.com.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge, the United States Marine Corps. For 227 years of faithful service, thank you, Marines. Happy birthday. And by Nextel. Nextel, how business gets done.
With Randy Cross and Beasley Reese, Kevin Harlan, Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, along with 60,000 plus wrapped up.
Little Santa cheese.
Yes. Drew Bledsoe has thrown 2 interceptions today. 1st and 10 from the 32 after the Green Bay punt. They run it outside with not much there. Loss of a yard on the play, and tackle made by Diggs. The carry by Henry. It'll be 2nd down and 11. And Friday on CBS, join America's biggest stars for a night of music and entertainment when the Kennedy Center honors Paul Simon, Elizabeth Taylor, James Earl Jones, and more. Friday on CBS, America's most watched network. It'll be good. Great holiday feature on CBS. 2nd down and 11. 3 total turnovers by the Buffalo Bills today. Yet Green Bay, after all that, has only been able to get a field goal at 33 yards. Bledsoe enters his backfield and darts one across the middle. Moulds shedding a tackle on the play of Anderson. Brought down by Rod Walker. And he caroms his way for 14 yards up to the 44 of the Bills and a Buffalo first down.
And if Buffalo's going to have success, it's going to be because one of these receivers, either Peerless Price or Eric Moulds working out his slot, just decides he wants to be better than his defensive backs that are covering. That he wants to make the play that's going to make the difference. Otherwise, his tough, aggressive defense Green Bay is playing is going to further frustrate Drew Bledsoe, and they're going to stop these wide receivers.
It is a 1st and 10 from the 44. Bledsoe almost picked off by McKenzie. He was aiming for Moulds on the flat. Incomplete. Second down coming up as we send you to New York and Jim Nance.
Just the 9th time in NFL history we've got a 99-yard touchdown to hook up Trent Green to Mark Bo Richter as the Chiefs are racing to a 21-6 lead over San Diego. 99-yard touchdown there for the Chiefs. Let's go back to you, Kevin and Randy.
Thank you, Jim. 2 weeks ago, San Diego loses at home to Oakland. Last week they lose in Buffalo. We're looking at the 3rd consecutive loss.
Bo Richter's one of those tweeners, isn't he?
Boy.
Not quite a tight end, not quite a wide receiver.
Played in the Canadian Football League. 2nd down and 10. Down goes Henry.
Well, he might not be quite a wide receiver, but this defense knows how to play against the run.
Cledius Hunt was right there leading the charge, and he's had a big day with his penetration off the defensive line. That's the 6th time today that Henry has had no gain or a loss on a carry. You're talking about the number 4 running back in the NFL.
You're talking about a loud home crowd here, too. This defense needs him to get loud.
Centers is in the game in the backfield of Bledsoe, who is in the gun. Centers, no receptions today from the 42, 3rd and 12. They're coming at it. Reynolds is coming after him. And a long pass, downfield trot by Peerless Price, who is number 8 in NFL receiving and had one go right through his hands. And the Buffalo Bills have got a punt. That's the look of a guy who knows he just blew it.
Well, I just mentioned after Moulds' catch that one of these receivers is going to decide they want to make the play. And if that wasn't one of the plays, it was missing a heck of an opportunity because Drew Bledsoe avoided the rush, put that ball in the perfect spot.
Mormon to punt. The number 6 punter in the NFL coming into today, 43 yards. His average per boot. This is a horrible punt.
He's trying to kick it low, line driving.
J.J. Moses watches it scamper out of bounds about the 16th.
Kevin, that's exactly what he wanted to do. Wanted to kick it low into the wind. But so far, Green Bay's defense has played very well. But the Buffalo wounds are all self-inflicted.
A wild one in the West. The Chiefs in a huge game against Oakland as the Raiders battle to be the best in the AFC West next Saturday on CBS.
That's Peerless Price, who dropped the pass moments ago. A rarity for him, but nonetheless, Bills had to punt. Green Bay's got the ball. Drew Bledsoe, who earlier today went over 4,000 yards for the season. That's the 3rd time for Bledsoe. Brett Favre has got 3 as well. 4,000 yard seasons in his NFL career.
Scary to think Rich Gannon still has a shot to get Dan Marino's 5,000+ yards record.
After the punt, 16-yard line, 1st and 10. Amon Green, a Henderson block. And a Berry block. And he tumbles his way for 7 up to the 22-yard line. And Amon Green, 72 yards on the ground today for Green Bay. At the end of 3, the Packers holding on to a 3-0 lead. We'll take a break. And we'll get this word from your local station as you're watching the NFL on CBS.
NFL Sunday Ticket is brought to you in part by Super 8.
We're back in Green Bay, and that is what has happened today. Only a field goal in the 2nd quarter, a couple blood interceptions, one by Favre. Here is our NFL.com poll. If Deion Sanders returns to the Raiders. Like you said in our pregame show today, do you think that would make Oakland the team to beat in the AFC? Log on to NFL.com.
Well, Oakland better win today and finish business next week, or they'll be talking on TV for a lot longer.
There's plenty in the fourth quarter. Second down and 3, and they send them on Green into the grasp of Williams and Prelo. Gain of 2. Let's go to New York and Jim Nantz.
All right, Kev, Randy, they don't get much better than this if you're a Tennessee fan. A little interception here and a Sunday sermon. Peter Sermon returning the Brunell interception for the touchdown. Tennessee up big 21-3. Colts are down 23-3. Titans could win the AFC South today if these two hold up. Let's go back to you.
Were they not calling for Jeff Fisher? Thank you, Jim. Were they not calling for Jeff Fisher's job mid-season?
Kind of laughable, isn't it?
It is a 3rd down and 1. And Favre flips it out to Tyrone Davis. He drops the ball. He was covered on the play by Prelo. Incomplete pass. 4th down. Green Bay's got a punt. Green Bay receivers today, tight ends, running backs, you name it. 5 dropped passes from Favre.
And yet another nice job, though, of coverage by the Buffalo defense, holding Brett Favre in this offense to under 160 yards of total offense. Davis has the ball, and the ball is stripped out, just pulled away from his hands.
Green Bay has had 2 second-half possessions. They've had 2 second-half punts. There's the Josh Bidwell boot, which hangs high. And fair caught, dropped by Clemens at the 37-yard line.
There is no telling.
It's Green Bay's ball. 4 Buffalo turnovers today. Count it.
In baseball, you ever see a knuckleball catcher try to catch a knuckler for the first time? It's exactly what this looks like, because that ball just fades so fastly away from Clemens. He never really has a chance.
Ferguson was there and giving about a 3-foot buffer. And, you know, talking his ear off to Clemens, who is back there to get the punt.
But it also continues the theme, Kevin, of the wounds for the Buffalo Bills all being self-inflicted. Green Bay has not been opportunistic. It's just been mainly a fact of Buffalo is going to continue to make mistakes.
36-yard line of Buffalo. Favre, 1st and 10 with Amon Green in the backfield. Loops it down the side for Traver, and it's intercepted again. This time by Clemens. Was he out of bounds? No, he caught it inbounds. Favre throws his 2nd interception, and it was Clemens who moments ago bobbled that fair catch punt.
If you're going to fumble the punt, quickest remedy, get it right back. Mission accomplished.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Cold down easy. And by Staples. Get back time. Go to Staples.
Interception to Brett Favre is the 2nd he has thrown today. Buffalo begins at their 10.
Green Bay's had 3 possessions in Buffalo's territories and no scores.
Packers lead 3-0 on a 2nd quarter field goal. Bledsoe, who has thrown a couple interceptions today himself. Downfield for Moulds, who had a hand on it and could not reel it in at the 45. 2nd down and 10.
Well, today on the pregame show, they were talking about Deion Sanders coming back to the Raiders. I can show you 2 teams in the NFL that don't need corners, and they're right here on this football field today. That was almost a nice catch by Moulds, but this is excellent coverage by Nate Clements. Adjusts to the ball. That's just perfect defensive play, and so far for Eric Moulds, 8 balls have been thrown to him. He's only caught 2.
Hard to believe Buffalo's turned it over 4 times, and Green Bay's only gotten 3 points. 2nd down 10 from the 10. It's Travis Henry. Weaving his way up. Hensley was there. Bowen was there. Along with Baja Biamila. Gain of 4. And he's to about the 13, 14-yard line.
For a guy that's known as a great pass rusher, Kabir Baja-Biamila, watch the way he plays the run here, working against Mike Williams, the big guy from Texas. Keeps the outside contained. If Williams could fold him down inside, Travis Henry can go outside and that could be a big run, but that was excellent defensive technique by the pass rush specialist, Baja Villamilla.
Larry centers in the game, 3rd down 6 from the 13. Bledsoe fires a pass, almost picked off by Holiday, incomplete. Ryan Holiday already has a sack, and Bill Lyon was right there too. He's in that defensive line rotation. They drop them back in coverage, 3 and out for the Buffalo Bills. They got a punt. And they can do nothing with the Brett Favre interception.
There's Holiday right there. You know, defensive coaches don't put defensive linemen back there to be able to catch the ball. They're more back there to throw the quarterback off.
J.J. Moses deep back, awaiting the Brian Mormon punt.
Great field position again for the Packers.
Ooh, he gets off a rocket. And Moses watches this one hit at the 20, inside the 5, and it will die there. What a punt. This may be the longest in the league this year. It is 83-yard punt by Brian Mormon, a career long, a league long this year. Happy holidays. Officially an 84-yard punt by Mormon. We saw him earlier this season kick a 70-yarder in Mile High Stadium in Denver. That is the longest in the history of the Buffalo Bills.
Just like a golf swing. Yep. You hit it right, you know it.
And he knew it. So inside the 3, 1st and 10, Amon Green diving over. And in the grasp of Pat Williams, gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
Remember, for all the struggles we've seen kickers have going in the other direction, this way the wind is helping. And Mormon gets the ball up, turns it over, and when it turns over, it hits the ground and bounces forward and sets that up. I mean, you have a short checklist as a kicker. He checked them all off on that one. Of course, only kickers know what's on that checklist, but
you don't want to know. 2nd down, 8 from the 4. Amon Green. Ron Edwards jumped on him initially after Pat Williams brought him down. Gain of 2.
It's ironic that in a game this important to this football team that has just relied so much on their offense all year long, it's been a special teams that has been questionable for them all year, and a defense that has been spotty for them all year long that have been the strength against Green Bay at Lambeau Field. It's been defense and special teams that have kept them in this game.
Tony Fisher, Ferguson, and Glenn all come in now for Mike Sherman. How about Donald Driver in the 2nd half?
How about an Ofer?
Nothing. Huh?
Nothing. That goes back to Clements, and it goes back to the job that Winfield's doing on the corner.
At the 6, 3rd and 6. Hand off to Tony Fisher. There's a block by Warren, a fumble on the play, and it's loose, and Green Bay looks like they vacuumed it in at the 11-yard line.
Well, he didn't have a catch in the 2nd half, but he might have their best play offensively. Getting that fumble right there by Fisher.
You know, the league has this ball rule about, you know, untouched, unplayed with NFL footballs. Could a game like this change that rule with all the fumbles and all the miscues on both teams today?
Well, it's a surprising rule, and you see that was not a fabulous hit by London Fletcher that knocked that ball loose. But Donald Driver's hustle is what makes this play. And you talk about a change of a rule. I mean, that comes from the competition committee. That's not non-football field of people. Those are football coaches that made that change.
Josh Bidwell to punt. Charlie Rogers backpedaling his way to the 46. Gets a couple tackles. One of Ferguson that brought down on the play after a 3-yard return. Grabbed by the guy that snapped the ball. The long snap is Rob Davis. Coming up next in today's game 2 of our doubleheader, implications for the playoffs for all 4 teams: Denver, Oakland, Cleveland, and the Baltimore Ravens. Randy Cross, Beasley Reese, Kevin Harlan, Lambeau, and Green Bay, 49-yard line after the Packer punt, 1st and 10. Travis Henry cracking his way into Bowen, picks up 3 on the play. He's down to the Green Bay 48.
And Kevin, we talked about that great punt by Mormon. And obviously great field position going the other way now for the Buffalo Bills. But they picked up 39 yards on that exchange. We talk about the hidden yards all the time when we do games. 39 extra yards. That's a bonus That's a bump you've got to take advantage of if you're Drew Bledsoe in this offense. This is the possession you've got to take advantage of.
Second down and 7. Buffalo at the Green Bay 48. Good time for Bledsoe. Bumps into his own blocker, then brought down by Vonnie Holiday, who records his second sack today. And that's the third by the Green Bay defense.
Just when it seems this Buffalo Bill offense is getting their feet under them and going to make something happen, it's either Kabir Baja-Biamila or Ho-Ho Holiday coming around from the backside. He's out of the play. Jonas Jennings is doing a nice job. The pass rush is there. The coverage is there. But Peerless Price is all by himself. But it's useless. You don't get the protection. You can have 4 guys standing up by themselves. It really doesn't matter.
Bledsoe faced with 3rd and 14. He has not hit one of his running backs for a reception today, although he's got Larry Centers in the backfield here. On the 44, Bledsoe pocket trembling, fumbles the ball and vacuumed in, picked up on the play by Jamal Reynolds. That is the 5th Buffalo turnover. And shockingly, stunningly, after 5 turnovers, they only trailed 3-0.
And they trail only 3-0 because the defense is playing well and the special teams are playing well. If Buffalo loses this game, this is the play and this is the sequence of plays that cost them the game.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. DirecTV. Movies, music, and exclusive sports from the leader in digital satellite entertainment. And by IBM, taking business to the next level with e-business on demand.
Drew Bledsoe has thrown 2 interceptions. He's fumbled the ball. 5 total Buffalo turnovers. 1st and 10 on Green. With the Davis blocked, and there he goes, breaking 1 tackle, breaking another, and then finally brought down in the secondary by Winfield, a gallop of 27 yards. And now he's got 106 on the day in 21 carries. And whenever he goes for 100 yards or more, his team, whether it's Seattle or Green Bay, is undefeated.
Very simple reason, just better blocking, just better football right here by the Green Bay Packers. This Buffalo defense has fought back and stopped this offense on multiple occasions. And right now they just look at that play like they were wearing down a little.
Amon Green, 1st and 10 at the 11. To call on the tackle. Made from behind by Justin Bannon, a rookie, no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10.
I know one thing, this Buffalo defense is going to fight until the bitter end. Their defensive coordinator, Jerry Gray, was that kind of player when he played in the NFL. Greg Williams is that kind of a head coach. I think the question still is, you know, is right behind Jerry Gray on the bench. It's the Buffalo offense. You've had some terrible performances so far. How do you come back? How do you make up for it?
It's 2nd down and 10 from the 11. Amon Green, a fumble on the play and picked up by the Bills. They call it incomplete. Wipe it away. This is all for naught. An incomplete pass dropped by Amon Green, much to the dismay of Nate Clemens at the other end of the field. If he caught, spun, and turned, that would be a reception.
Get 2 feet down, display a football motion.
6 drops by the Packers today, 6 of them. 3 by Amon Green. And
See,
this cannot be reviewed.
Yeah, this is unreviewable. Couldn't really tell by the beginning of that tape.
The ruling on the field that this is an incomplete pass. The receiver never had the ball.
Remember, 2 hands, 2 feet on the ground, demonstrate a football motion. 2 hands, do you have it?
That is a fumble.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think he had it?
I think he had it. He had it. He went to put it away on the right side. It was never put away.
3rd down and 10 with the Packers at the Buffalo 11. This is all part of a Drew Bledsoe fumble. And far to the end zone and a touchdown. Donald Driver. I believe he is looking for someone up in the stands to give that touchdown football to.
If you're the Buffalo Bills, you can keep sticking your hand in that tiger cage only so many times. Eventually, you're going to draw back. You're not going to have a hand.
11-yard touchdown reception. And with the extra point, Packers are shutting out Buffalo 10-0. Brett Favre throws his 26th touchdown pass of the year. And the Packers cash in on the Bledsoe turnover.
What are they?
Donald Driver just lassoed his 9th touchdown reception of the season. It's been a career year, and you can see he is in the holiday mood.
You might say happy holidays, but it should say happy camper.
Yes.
Both pictures, Driver and Favre.
And the ensuing kickoff after the 11-yard Brett Favre touchdown pass. Rodgers at the 8. Ferguson's got it. Robert Ferguson, one of the fine special teams players for Green Bay, who missed practice this week with back spasms, shows that he is healed, hale and hearty, and ready to go.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Norelco, America's #1 selling electric razor. And by A Diamond is Forever. How will you declare your love this Christmas?
Brett Favre with a touchdown pass after a Buffalo turnover, one of 5 they have had today. Donald Driver getting the Favre pass. 10-0 Green Bay, 7:18 to play. Now how does Buffalo respond? Their offense has been dismal all afternoon.
They've just moved from need to miracle. They need it now.
They emptied the backfield from the 16, 1st and 10 for Bledsoe. When he goes outside, the hit by McKenzie takes Moulds off his feet. It's a gain of 8. And Jim Nantz through out to the 24 as we go to you in New York.
All right, Kevin, Randy, Tennessee all over Jacksonville from the start today. McNair to Derek Mason. Mason over 1,000 yards receiving with that catch and touchdown. 28-3 Titans, and the Colts, barring a big comeback, they're down 30-12 in the 4th. Looks like Titans again on their way to winning the division. Back to you.
I can't figure out the Colts. They came in 9-5 today. Thank you, Jim.
And is anybody more valuable to their team than Steve McNair?
2nd down and 2, and Bledsoe has the first down to his tight end, the former Michigan quarterback, Jay Remersma. He moves the chains to the 35. He picks up 11 yards, and Buffalo showing some offensive life with plenty of time to play.
Well, the key for Greg Williams' football team, though, has been the mistakes. They had the great punt. They had the great positive field position. They didn't take advantage of it. Then you had the sack. Then you had the fumble. You had the early turnover in the red zone. You got the missed field goal. I mean, they've left points all over the Green Bay red zone today.
Empty backfield again with 5 receivers deployed. It is a first down for Bledsoe. That is 35. And going long, looking for Moulds. Double cover down the side. Incomplete. Stride for stride with him, Tyrone Williams and Matt Bowen. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Let's go to Jim Nantz in New York.
All right, guys, in the second half, the Chargers were down 21-6 at Kansas City. What a comeback, though. Drew Brees to McCrary, and the Chargers lead it with 11 minutes left, 22-21. Go back to you.
Jim, Brees hadn't thrown in a touchdown pass since November 17th. So that is something else in Arrowhead Stadium to get that accomplished today.
Well, you don't think Marty Schottenheimer knows a little bit something about winning at Arrowhead, do you?
Wow. 2nd down and 10 from the 35. But they've stopped that in good motion. 5:50 to play. Buffalo 3 timeouts. Green Bay has 3 timeouts.
A little false start, a little motion.
False start. Number 85, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
That's only the 2nd offensive penalty on Buffalo today.
Well, then that would be the mistakes they didn't make.
Yes.
But there's the last sequence from the last drive. Drew Bledsoe's fumble. There was the sack the play before. There was the play that was ruled a non-fumble, which I think was a non-fumble. And then the dagger is the pass to driver from Brett Favre. You just don't give Brett Favre and this football team that many chances.
Second down, 15, and Bledsoe with time. And throws it away, and it rolls in the vicinity, but nothing really there. Third and 15.
And more importantly than giving Favre all the chances, Greg Williams' football team has left so many points in the opponent's red zone. I mean, the missed field goal. I mean, they've left at least 9 points on the field. They should at least have 3 field goals, the field position their defense has given them.
Twice they have had it. Look, if the Packers think it's a punting situation on third down, and J.J. Moses was back in single safety formation at the 25. But it's third and 15. On the 30. Packers almost had too many people on the field. Bledsoe, oh, here they come. And he fumbled again. And it's picked up by Marcus Sullivan, a lineman. And they give it up. They'll have to punt. They've missed their last 5. Third down.
Kabir Bajia-Biamila might be the #1 pass rusher for this football team, but for one day and one moment, Vonnie Holliday has brought sort of the ghost of Reggie White back to this defense by just thoroughly harassing and dominating Drew Bledsoe's offensive line and Drew Bledsoe's offense.
He played with White in his early day. High snap by Reamersma, picked up by Mormon, who had an 84-yard punt the last time. Moses bobbles it at the 30, and I'm guessing he reeled it in. He did. The Packers have the ball. 41-yard punt. And tonight on 60 Minutes, have you any idea where the medicine you're taking came from? Curious? Try watching 60 Minutes tonight. Then it's 60 minutes of comedy with back-to-back episodes of Becker, followed by the CBS Sunday movie, A Town Without Christmas. That stars Patricia Heaton. It's all here tonight on CBS, America's most watched network.
Frank Novak is a special teams coach of the Green Bay Packers, and tell you what, his heart wasn't in his throat. It was somewhere about 4 feet outside of his body when he saw J.J. Moses try to slap that one around on the ground.
First and 10, 29. Amon Green has rushed for 108 yards today, and he gets the call. Slithering his way up to the 34. And picks up 5.
You just saw the Green Bay offense for the next 4 minutes and however long they can hold on to the ball. You pound the ball. And the offensive leaders for the Green Bay Packers, Brett Favre, has been a leader, not so much in the yardage category, but he's done a very good job of managing this team. And a lot of praise has to go to Amon Green and this offensive line that have just physically taken the game over. And when they needed the big play, Donald Driver's been there. And the big play was the touchdown in this game from Brett Favre.
Buffalo player down, that's Ron Edwards on the defensive line. Buffalo came in having won 2 of their last 3. The Green Bay Packers rode a 3-game winning streak into this game, an 8 of 9. To start the season, lost 2, won 3 straight. When they lost those 2 games kind of in the middle of the year, what wasn't clicking for Green Bay?
The same thing that hasn't clicked for everybody in this league that's gone through their little spurts. It's usually execution and attention to detail, and something to Mike Sherman, this staff and this organization, I think it's their strong point. So it's a testament really to the stability of this organization and this football team that it was only a 2-game spurt. You saw the Raiders go 4 games in a spurt, very, very similar.
Good news, Ron Edwards is up and walking off under his own power. Mike Sherman, we just had a shot of him, the coach of the Packers, 11-1 in the month of December. This is his 3rd season, and undefeated in December at home.
Well, we talked about how important this game is field position-wise from the Packers. Brett Favre has never lost a home playoff game. The Packers have never lost a home playoff game here at Lambeau.
Bannon comes in, 2nd down, long 4. The fake to Amon Green, dumps it off, fullback Henderson, grabbed by Fletcher and by Pat Williams. 8 of 6. And he's out to the 41. Brett Favre, probably one of the most well-known statistics in the NFL, when it's 34 degrees or lower, he is 34-0 and soon to be 35-0.
And you saw his stats a minute ago, and they weren't very sparkly. But he has gotten the ball to 7 different receivers. He's only completed, I believe, 12 or 13 passes, and he's gotten passes to 7 different receivers. So of those 15 completions, almost half of them have gone to one guy or another. That's pretty amazing.
You know, one of the things about Green Bay, too, and a lot of teams in the NFL have gone through injuries, but the Packers had an exorbitant amount of injuries, 14 starters missing a total of 54 games. Yet here, it was never an excuse. It was never a crutch.
Well, you know, it starts with Mike Sherman. There's a reason he's the vice president, general manager, head coach. Everything starts with him. And his philosophy is, look, it's my coach's responsibility that whoever comes in next plays as well or better. So every player knows that coming in from the first day. Everybody's treated the same, and the same thing is expected of every single person, much like my organization I grew up in San Francisco. What do they expect? Only the best.
Buffalo just burned a timeout. Amon Green banging off bodies and wheels his way for 2. 114 yards now on the ground for Amon Green. Next, Denver and Oakland. That will be a huge AFC West battle out in the Bay Area. And Cleveland and Baltimore, with the Colts getting whipped today by the Giants. Even more now is riding on that game in terms of AFC playoff position.
And, you know, Deion Sanders said it on the pregame show today when they asked him about, are you going to come back for the Raiders? You know, he was reminded by Jim Nantz that, hey, look, if the Raiders don't win today, there's a chance they might not be in the playoffs. I mean, it's really come to that in the AFC.
Second down, 8, Amon Green. Kicking and poking his way and tackled by Winfield. Picks up 5 up to the 48. Timeout Buffalo. They've got 1 left. Well, we told you it was cold. It always is this time of year in Green Bay. And it's 28 degrees. The wind gusting up to 30 makes it feel like it's 15 degrees.
Well, if you can bundle up, like I said earlier, and one time and you're a football fan in your life, you can make it up here. It's worth the trip. Once you got to see a game here. You got to see a game at Notre Dame. You got to see a baseball game at Yankee Stadium. It's just, if you're a sports fan, you've got to do it. And this is not always on everybody's list, but the parking lot scene here, the tailgating scene, these are the friendliest fans and the friendliest people in any city in the NFL. The hospitality here is great, and you know, you just look around here at the camouflage in orange and the camouflage in green and the NASCAR jackets and the Packer jackets. It's sort of what the NFL and this whole thing ought to be about in every city.
After the timeout, 3rd down and 3. Green Bay at their 48. Amon Green grabbed and brought down Pat Williams, who has quietly played a very good game today. A loss of 3. Green Bay has got a punt. Buffalo will have about just under 3 minutes with which to work.
Well, Pat Williams has had a very solid year playing inside. Pat Williams right here, 93, working against Frank Winters. Right through the backside shoulder, throws him off, runs right by the fullback. And into the halfback, Amon Green. He's a ton of fun in there, and you can imagine when he and Ted Washington a couple years were in there together, what kind of a defense Wade Phillips had working, and that's the defense that Greg Williams and Tom Donahoe had to basically let lead when they first took over in Buffalo. Then last year, they were still, or this year, they were still like 12, 15 under or over the cap, so they had to even cut more. So if you're going to judge the job done by Tom Donahoe and Tom Modrak and Greg Williams and this organization, wait till next year. Wait till they have some room under the cap. They can really start getting some players that they want in here, and they're less strapped.
Buffalo out of timeouts. This shows you the respect they've got for Bledsoe's work of the sideline once he gets it back. But the underlying theme is, if Buffalo loses, they're out of the playoff race.
And the underlying theme of this game is, if Buffalo loses, they can only point at themselves because they've made all the mistakes in the world.
Bidwell's punt. Charlie Rogers back at the 16, 38-yard boot. Now Bledsoe's got a full plate. Clock now at 3:15. Here is the look at the top division leaders and top records all over the NFL in these three teams.
Let's say Green Bay goes to 12-3 to tie Philadelphia. Tomorrow night, Pittsburgh goes to Tampa. You don't think a few cheeseheads will have out the black and gold pom-poms in some of the local establishments cheering those Steelers on against the Bucs, do you?
Very important here. Bledsoe is 12 of 28. 2 interceptions, 1 fumble, and those are 3 of Buffalo's 5 turnovers today. Outside the 16, we'll call it the 17, 1st and 10. And Bledsoe with some indecision and fires on the side. Almost intercepted, incomplete. Incomplete on the side. Edwards just about had it. 2nd down and 10.
Trying to fit it into a tight spot, and the only spot there was Antoine Edwards. You know, Buffalo's only had 43 yards rushing today so far, and I said at the beginning the keys were Travis Henry running and Drew Bledsoe throwing the ball better. Neither's happened.
2nd down and 10 from the 17. Bledsoe swings it on the far side, caught by Henry, belted by Williams, and slides his way for a 1st down up to the 27, 28-yard line. That's the first time they've gone to a running back through the air today. First catch by a Buffalo back.
And remember, they've got Larry Centers, who's caught more passes than any back in the history of this league, number 37 on their roster.
1st and 10. Bledsoe throws the dart, caught by Peerless Price, scampers out of bounds, 35-yard line, about 2 yards shy of the 1st. Gain of 7 on the play. Clock at 2:37. Buffalo out of timeouts.
Well, it's 10-0. You have no timeouts. It's a time to be efficient, but it's a time to finish. It's one thing to look busy, and it's another thing to get something done. Right now, Buffalo just looks busy. If they don't finish this off, they've done nothing.
Bills have had it twice. With the 1st and goal to go situations. Empty-handed both times. One time he threw an interception. Bledsoe did in the end zone. 2nd down, 3. And that nice, easy overhand motion caught by Molds. Has the 1st down, gain of 10 up to the 44-yard line.
And they're going to let him move the ball just like that for another 20 or 30, 40 yards. Green Bay is in a very soft, 2-deep zone, type of a defense. Everything's deep. Let everything happen underneath you and fill in and get it.
Bledsoe drops it, picks it up, whips it downfield. Caught. Molds. Gain of 4 to the 48. That will take us to the 2-minute warning.
That's the difference. You've seen a team that wanted to be in the playoffs in Buffalo, and you've seen a playoff team in Green Bay.
Two-minute warning at Lambeau in Green Bay with Randy Cross, Beasley Reeves, Kevin Harlan. Touchdown pass by Brett Favre.
They having fun?
Driver. Yeah, they're having a good time.
Would the Ducks see you coming if you wore a yellow helmet? Or would they think you're just one of the world's largest, ugliest mallards?
It's 2nd down and 6. 2-minute warning. Buffalo out of timeouts. He slings it downfield where it's caught by the rarely used Charles Johnson. Just his 3rd reception of the year. A 22-yard gain to the Green Bay 30-yard line. First and 10. Centers in the backfield offering a block, and Bledsoe lobs one to Peerless Price, who quickly goes down after being tackled by Antoine Edwards. A gain of 13 to the Green Bay 17.
Remember the soft cover 2 I was talking about? In the 20, 30, 40 yards they'll give up? They've given it up. Now there's no more soft 2.
No.
Now it's 2nd down and you're in the red zone. And this is where you've had all your suffering, you've had all your miseries, and this is the part of the field tomorrow when you turn on the tape, you can say we lost the football game in this part of the field.
Don't think that defense doesn't want to keep that shutout going either.
Yeah, they're sort of the other group. When you talk about the Green Bay Packers, it's always Brett Favre in the offense. I played on a team that was always Joe Montana in the offense. You know, people forget the defenses they've had here in Green Bay that have won a lot of football games for them, and Ed Donatel, their defensive coordinator, and his staff have done a masterful job of making up with injuries this year.
Second down, 10. Bledsoe hit. Vonnie Holiday has done it again. The ball is coughed up. It's a fumble. Holiday has had an incredible career day. 5 sacks by the Packer defense. Holiday has had 3. Bledsoe has turned the ball over 4 times himself. 2 on fumbles and 2 interceptions.
Vonnie Holiday, number 90, working against the Pro Bowler, Reuben Brown. He just zips right around him, gets his 5th sack. Somebody buy that man a Christmas goose as a special little prize. Maybe a ham or something. But he deserves to really have a nice, heavy feast come Wednesday with the game he's had today.
5 sacks today. That is a career high. He got credit for a couple combo sacks early in the game. An incredible performance, a Reggie White type performance for Vonnie Holiday, a guy who studied under White his rookie year here. Green Bay will run out the clock. Buffalo can't stop it. The executive producers of the NFL on CBS, Sean McManus and Tony Petitti. Today's game produced by Bob Monsbach and directed by Steve Milton. The associate director of today's game, Jeffrey St. Aramon. Broadcast associate, Sarah Rinaldi. The coordinating producer of CBS Sports is Harold Bryant. Our technical manager is Rick Godwin. Special thanks to Pat McGrath. The Green Bay Packers win their 4th consecutive game. Vonnie Holiday, 5 sacks. Brett Favre with a touchdown pass. Drew Bledsoe throws 2 interceptions. He fumbles it twice. Part of 6 Buffalo turnovers. And the Bills lose their 5th game in their last 7.
And like I said earlier, this is the case of a Buffalo team that wanted to go and be a playoff team. And this is the Green Bay Packer team that is going to be a championship team if they can play at this level for the rest of the game.
Buffalo Bills are out of the playoffs, and Green Bay goes to 12-3 for Randy Cross and Beasley Reese. This is Kevin Harlan saying so long from Lambeau in Green Bay with a final score. Green Bay 10, Buffalo nothing. Next, it's game 2 of our doubleheader. You'll see either Denver at Oakland or the Cleveland Browns at Baltimore. Jim Nantz, a fun place to broadcast from. A big win for the Packers as we throw it to you in New York.
Welcome back. I'm Spencer Tillman here with you on NFL.